Fly ball to left field deep. Way back! Way back! This ball is gone! A walk-off home run! Newport Gulls win it here in the 11th.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Swing and a miss, strike three. It's all over. The Newport Gulls are the 2008 Southern Division champions.
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Swinging a high drive to deep right. Oh, is this ball crushed? Way back and gone. Joey Manning with a towering shot. Swinging a high drive to deep left. And you can forget about it. Cal Conley with his third home run of the game.
Stay tuned. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his 6th season covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Nick Lima.
Thank you, Larry Cunningham. Good evening and welcome here to Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island, where tonight the Newport Gulls will take on the North Shore Navigators in just their third home game of the season. The Gulls, who have been rained out 2 of their last 3 games, coming off a loss on the road in Sanford, Maine on Saturday, where Newport fell to the Mainers 4-2. The Gulls on a 3-3 record coming into the game tonight, looking to improve above 500 here as the Gulls return to Cardines Field. Friendly confines of Cardines Field, where last season Newport held a record of 16-5. Here this season thus far, the Gulls are 1-1 at home, looking to become 2-1 here tonight as the North Shore Navigators come to town for the first time this season. Newport has faced North Shore once earlier this season, and in a come-from-behind victory was able to defeat the North Shore Navigators at Fraser Field in Lynn, Massachusetts. It was David Palms who got the start and the win in that ball game, and he is slated to start here again tonight. It's the Newport Gulls and the North Shore Navigators, and it's next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field as our Newport Gulls pregame show continues. I'm Nick Lehman, now joined by Newport Gulls assistant coach John Raiola. It's time for the Gulls Eye View. John, how you doing? It's good to see you. Just saw you last season here. The Newport Gulls helping us out on the broadcast network. Now you're helping out on the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's certainly a little different role, but I enjoyed both equally, and it's fun to get that perspective up there, then take it down to the field here. So it's been, a little different, but something that I'm certainly enjoying so far.
Now, John, you've been involved in the world of baseball for a while here in the city by the sea. How'd you get in this job with the Newport Gulls this season?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to, like you said, be around here for a while, so I know a bunch of people. I know Chuck, I know Chris Patsos, and I coached out in New Mexico at the College of Santa Fe this past spring, came home and was looking to continue my coaching career, and I talked to Coach Patsos, sort of applied for the job, and he said that they'd be certainly interested, so here I am.
Now, you're helping out primarily with home games here at Cardines Field. What is your role in and out of the dugout?
Pretty much I've been working with outfielders a little bit, hitting fly balls before the game, just helping them with their reads. Also been down in the bullpen, helping out there, working on, whatever little mechanical things they might have, as they're warming up to go into the game. So certainly we have a wealth of knowledge on this team with Coach Virgilak and Coombs and John Foster. So, there's a lot of resources that the players can go to. So I'm trying to just do the best I can to blend in with that and help out.
Third home game of the season. Already had 2 home games rained out as we dodging showers later on tonight. The Newport Gulls come into this game 3-3 on the season. Team has struggled in some areas, has been very successful in others. Where do you see this 2009 Newport Gulls club going?
Well, it's been certainly a little different than what we've seen in the last couple of years, where we've got a lot of kids who are waiting on the draft, who are playing in regionals or super regionals. I know we still have one in Virginia who's playing in the super regionals today, and that's kind of been the biggest thing. We've had to mix and match where players are playing. We have, Dylan Stone, who usually plays second base. He's been out in the outfield, and, one game we only had 1 player on the bench, 2 bullpen arms. So it's been certainly, you've had a tough time trying to mix and match, do whatever you can to get the best 9 out there in the best spots that, we think they can help us, even though they're a bit out of position. It's been tough on the arms as you're trying not to stretch guys out too much, as most of them have pitched in college, and they're, kind of entering the latter part of where they normally would be had they pitched in, a summer league or in college. So it's something that, as we start to get more and more people in, that's going to certainly help and deepen everywhere that we have.
Newport Gulls assistant coach John Raiola, thanks for joining us here in the Gulls Eye View. Catch up with you in a couple weeks, and good luck in the game tonight.
Thank you, Nick.
That's the Gulls IV. We'll be back in a moment as the pregame show continues. The front office report is next on the NCBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back here at Cardines Field as Newport Gulls pregame show continues with the front office report. First installment of this 2009 season. As I'm now joined by Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Paper for the first time this season. Chuck, how are you?
Nick, how you doing? Good to see you again. 2009.
Ready to go here as the Newport Gulls already playing their third home game of the season. It should be their fifth. A couple of rainouts so far, plus another rainout on the road already. That's our first topic of discussion. Is the Gulls will have a very busy first week of July with 3 doubleheaders and an 8-day stretch coming up.
Yeah, you know, Nick, you always want to get these games in, especially early in the season, but the weather around here is so unpredictable, so you go through these periods, and here, this is where we're at now. But, you know, early on, we didn't have a lot of guys here either, so it kind of is a catch-22. You wait till more roster players come here. It helps. It's helpful, but then you got to back up later, and that's not good.
Now, Chuck, the Newport Gulls, again, have been short in the roster so far this season. How many more players are you still expecting to get here?
Well, we have 2 coming in tonight, 2 pitchers from Washington. We have a pitcher from Kansas and a pitcher from Ohio State coming tomorrow. We have an outfielder from Long Beach coming on Wednesday, and we have another pitcher from East Carolina coming Friday. Then we have 1 more left after that, and that's on the 21st.
So the Newport Gulls are 3-3 in the season right now. Have not had the offensive power getting going yet. Could that just be the adjustment with these wooden bats?
I think it's a combination of things, Nick. It's an adjustment. The first 2 weeks, the pitchers are always ahead of hitters with wood. And then, you know, we don't have everybody here yet. So it'll come together. I think this team will be plenty offensive enough.
Pitching-wise, though, the Newport Gulls have had it very well so far. Been leading the league in team ERA for much of the season here in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, our pitching has been holding us above water, frankly, and they're only going to get better. When the rest of these arms come in here, we're going to be a very talented pitching core.
Now, Chuck, a lot of changes in the NECBL since last season. The new realignment from North and South to Eastern and Western divisions. New league president as well, and Kevin McElvain, the former commissioner.
Yeah, that's correct. A lot of changes in the NECBL, all for the good. You know, the realignment makes sense, saves money, saves transportation for everybody. It makes sense with that change from Torrington to New Bedford. New president, couldn't find a better one. We're very fortunate to keep moving forward.
Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Paper, thank you for joining us here in the front office report. Good luck in tonight's ball game. We'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Nick, it's another season. Great to see you again, and I'm looking forward to an outstanding 2009 season with our club.
It's good to be back. Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, Nick.
That's our front office report. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues with Mike Coombs next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back here at Cardines Field. Now time for our manager's report. Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs. Coach, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks, Nick.
The Newport Gulls did lose their last game that was played on Saturday, a 4-2 defeat up in Sanford, as Newport now falls to 3-3 on the season, right at 500.
Yeah, we had no offense up there. Their kid pitched a pretty good game, but we didn't hit the ball in the right spot, and it was just not a great offensive showing. David Kay threw the ball okay, but he wasn't his sharp self either. He gave up some runs.
Offense is also a problem here at Cardines Field last week as the Gulls hosted the New Bedford Bay Sox, playing that team for the second time this season. Newport only managing 1 run, falling 5-1 in that contest.
Yeah, here again, no offense, and when you don't hit the ball and put runs up there, you know, it's a tough deal. Some nights you'll get the pitching, some nights you won't, but you know, you go out there and you hope you can put it all together every night, but you know, some nights it just doesn't happen. But offensively, we haven't been in too many games. We're lucky to be 3-3.
Pitching-wise, though, the Newport Gulls have been really carried by the pitching staff so far this season. David Palms, who got the start against the North Shore Navigators and picked up the win in that game, allowing just 1 earned run in 5 1/3 innings of work. We'll get the start here tonight against North Shore yet again.
Yeah, David throws the ball pretty well. We like his stuff and his demeanor on the mound, and he goes after people, and he throws the ball very well, and we're excited about him being out there again tonight.
And being a local boy from Smithfield, Rhode Island, he'll actually be starting in his home state ballpark here at Cardines Field in Newport tonight.
All right, but don't tell him that. We don't want any more added pressure, okay?
The Newport Gulls have picked up a couple of new players. Troy Scott is now starting at first base here tonight.
Troy Scott out of the West Coast, and he's come out here, and big left-handed hitter, and hopefully he'll have a little something to show us tonight.
So the Newport Gulls playing North Shore for the second time this season. Again, Newport was able to pull off a victory last time against the Navigators up in Lynn, but North Shore is a formidable opponent, leading the NECBL right now with a 7-2 record.
That's all early. You never know. That stuff can turn around real quick. So, I'm sure they're happy they've, put 7 wins on, because that's the name of the game, putting W's up. So you go with it, and you just keep battling, try to stay above 500 and go in that direction.
And finally, Coach, with the injury report, Mike Kaminsky was in the starting lineup, started in right field against the Sanford Mainers on Saturday. Any other injuries to report, and is Kaminsky back to 100% yet?
I'd say he's close to being 100%, so he's back in it. We also have a new kid today. Joey Bergman is going to be playing third base. He's out of college at Charleston, and had a great year for them. Hopefully he can continue that here with the Gulls this summer.
Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs, thanks for joining us. Good luck in tonight's ball game.
Thanks, Nick.
That's our pregame visit with Mike Coombs. The pregame show continues next. It's Newport Gulls baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. Good evening and welcome here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. My name is Nick Lima. I'm joined by Jeremy Kreisberg here in the NECBL Broadcast Network as we get set for a baseball here tonight. The Newport Gulls and North Shore Navigators in the second matchup between these two squads this season as the pregame festivities get underway here on Fraternal Order of Police American Heroes Night at Cardines Field as fire, police, and EMT officials are honored on the field. A couple of color guards are present here tonight as Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Pava reads some announcements to the crowd regarding the pregame ceremonies here tonight. Let's take it down to the field and pick up Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Pava.
Well liked by his community. His father is a retired police officer, 30 years in service in Fall River, and in attendance with his other family members. His mother, Veronica, his brother, Troy, his sister, Tracy, and his younger sister, Samantha. And tonight, Mr. Cabral is going to throw out the first pitch in his memory. Mr. Cabral. And by the way, Mr. Cabral played here on this field 30 years ago, folks. So he's a little bit used to this rubber. Outstanding, Mr. Cabral. Folks, tonight we're going to do the 50-50 raffle in Thomas's honor. There's a memorial fund in his name. Please be generous in your support.
As Newport Gulls General Manager down the field honoring the Thomas Cabral Memorial Fund as the 50-50 raffle and other proceeds of tonight's contest, tonight's 50-50 raffle and other things that happen here at the game tonight will go to the Thomas Cabral Memorial Fund, a police officer who was here earlier tonight. As we're here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, Newport Gulls and North Shore Navigators getting set to play. This is the Newport Gulls' third home game of the season, and Jeremy and the North Shore Navigators come in off a walk-off win.
Yeah, last night a big victory for the Navs, only their second one-run win of the season, a walk-off win on a Sean Gilmartin RBI single, a game that the Navigators trailed 3-0 after only a half an inning. They came back and would win.
And let's take it down to the field once again as Newport Police Officer Jimmy Winters has our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through a perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
An outstanding rendition of our national anthem sung here tonight by Jimmy Winters. As the Newport Gulls and North Shore Navigators get set to play in just a few moments. As we'll be back here in just a moment on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Coming up, a roundup of action around the league and the starting lineups. Don't go away. This is the Newport Gulls pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here now at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. A roundup of action around the league last night. The Pittsfield American Defenders of Pittsfield defeated the Holyoke Blue Sox for their first win of the season, 10-7 the final in that game. The Vermont Mountaineers over the Danbury Westerners 4-2. The Northampton Steelcats defeated the Keene Swamp Bats 10-3. The Manchester Silkworms over the Sanford Mainers 9-8. The North Shore Navigators did defeat the New Bedford Bay Sox in a walk-off victory, 4-3 the final score in that ball game. And the only game that was rained out were the Newport Gulls playing at the Lowell All-Americans. It was an early afternoon game, but rain inundated the field in Lowell, making the game unplayable last night. It was the Gulls' third rainout of the season. It'll be made up in a doubleheader on July 3rd. Around the league tonight, New Bedford's at Sanford, a 6:30 start time, underway in a couple minutes. North Shore's of course, here at Newport, being underway about 5 minutes. Manchester Silkworms at Lowell, underway at 6:30. The Holyoke Blue Sox play at the Danbury Westerners in a Western Division game. That's also a 6:35 start time. And the other game also getting underway at 6:30 tonight. North Adams Steelcats play at the Vermont Mountaineers and other Northern Division action. Right now in the NCBL Eastern Division, North Shore 7-2, 2.5 games ahead of Newport, who's in second place at 3-3 in the season. Also 2.5 games back is the Sanford Mainers at 4-4. In fourth place is the New Bedford Bay Sox at 3-4, 3 games back. The Manchester Silkworms 3-5, 3.5 out. Also 3.5 back are the 1-3 Lowell All-Americans. In the NECBL West, it's Keene Swamp Bats on top, 6-2 in the season. Northampton Steelcats are 5-3, 1 game back. As are the Vermont Mountaineers. In fourth place in the Western Division is the Holyoke Blue Sox at 3-4, 2.5 games back. Danbury Westerners 3-5, 3 games back. And the Pittsfield American Defenders are 1-6, getting their first victory last night. They're 4.5 games back. Starting lineups next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field as you get set the starting lineups for today's ball game. For the visiting North Shore Navigators, here is Jeremy Kreisberg.
Thank you very much, Nick. Trey Dennis leads off. He's in center field, batting second. The third baseman, Ben Benigno. Patrick Brady bats third. He's at second base, batting fourth. The DH, Jim Schultz. Sean Gilmartin, walk-off winner last night, bats fifth. He's in left field. Batting sixth, the catcher, Mike Dowd. Van Waldrop bats seventh. He's at first base, batting eighth. The right fielder, Matt Marquis, and Alex Lee rounds out the lineup. He'll play at shortstop.
They'll be facing David Palms, making his second start of the season for the Newport Gulls. The Southpaw has a 1.17 ERA, 1-0 in 2 appearances, again picking up his only win of the season at North Shore last week. The Smithfield, Rhode Island native played his college ball for the Princeton University Tigers. For the Newport Gulls, Greg Garcia starts at second base and leads things off. Batting second, Joey Bergman, the third baseman, making his first start in the Gulls uniform. Mike Melillo is the designated hitter, batting third. In cleanup, it's Aaron Westlake, the left fielder. First baseman Troy Scott bats fifth, and Tim Spaulding, the shortstop, bats in the sixth spot. Batting seventh, Ian Tompkins, the catcher. The right fielder, Mike Kaminsky, bats eighth. And rounding out the order for the Newport Gulls, Joey Manning, the center fielder. And who will they be facing for North Shore?
They'll be facing Mike Gallo, who last time out was in Manchester, struck out a franchise record 15 Silkworms. Gallo was simply unhittable, did not allow a run, 8 innings of work. He picked up the win in what was a 7-1 North Shore victory out in Manchester.
So Gallo out of Milligan College, making his second start of the season here tonight at Cardines Field. Game time temperature around 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies as we dodge thunderstorms to our north and west. They are heading in this direction, and we will keep you posted as we check our Doppler radar here in the press box throughout the evening. A southeasterly wind blows at 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting to 15 across the diamond here tonight. Shouldn't affect play all that much unless those thunderstorms, of course, get close and change that direction. And we could see some higher gusts here, just about a block away from the water here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Newport Gulls 3-3 in the season, 1-1 at home. A 26-16 record last year was 16-5 at home, and one of the best home records in the NECBL. The North Shore Navigators 26-16 last season overall, 2-0 on the road this season. Have not been dealt a loss in the visiting ballpark yet. 7-2 on the season and have the best record in the NECBL. Umpires for tonight's game: Bob Pinza calling balls and strikes behind the plate, and Patrick Burns is the field umpire. First pitch is next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. Back here now at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. I'm Nick Lima, joined by Jeremy Kreisberg here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We're all set for baseball as David Palms toes the rubber. The Southpaws' first pitch of the ball game is a fastball outside low, ball one, says home plate umpire Bob Panza. Trey Dennis in the leadoff spot here tonight for the North Shore Navigators. We're underway a couple minutes early in this one. 6:35 scheduled to start, 6:33. Here's the 1-0 pitch from the lefty. Fastball is in there for a strike on the outside corner, and the count's even at 1-1. Dennis comes in the season batting .194, no homers, 3 RBI. Long Beach State University. Swings and fouls. The next one off his foot. It's 1-2. Well, not a great crowd here at Cardines Field. Maybe a few hundred right now. I'm sure a lot of fans are being scared off by the rain. Of course, it's still a school night here in Newport. We're not going to see those crowds of 2,000 or more here until, well, the first week of July, unless there's a Friday night game, but both of those have been rained out so far. The 1-2 pitch is a strike 3 called on the outside corner, so David Palms gets things going with the strikeout looking here tonight, and there's one away.
David Palms pitched well last time out against the Navigators, and that time setting down the dangerous leadoff hitter Trey Dennis with 4 stolen bases. He's tied for third in the NECBL.
He's from Franklin Pierce College and Trumbull, Connecticut.
Here's Mike LaBelle. Mike LaBelle batting .303, no homers, 2 RBI. Swings in the first pitch, pops it up on the infield. Who wants it? It's Joey Bergman. In his first opportunity as the Gulls' third baseman, he makes a catch on the infield grass, and is quickly 2 away. Defensive alignment for the Newport Gulls. It's Troy Scott making his first start of the season at first base. Greg Garcia at second. Tim Smalling, the shortstop. Joey Bergman again in his first start in the Gulls uniform here tonight at third. Outfield left to right, Aaron Westlake, Joey Manning, Mike Kaminsky, and Ian Tompkins catches David Palms.
Patrick Brady from Bellarmine University.
So here's Pat Brady. Brady
Kentucky.
batting an even .500. He's 14 for 28 on the season. No homers, 2 RBI. Or rather 2 homers and 6 RBIs. He takes first pitch for ball 1. Well, Brady's having an outstanding start to the season, Jeremy.
Yes, he is. 2 home runs, both of them at Frazier Field, and both of them a long way to left field. You can't pitch this kid in.
Working quickly as Palmer sends the next pitch in and swung on and hit in the air to left field. Aaron Westlake starts back, now comes in, makes a catch for the out, that retires the side. 1-2-3, goal the Navigators here in the top of the first. We're through half an inning from Cardines Field. North Shore nothing, the Gulls coming up on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Go to the last of the first here at Cardines Field. David Palms, a 1-2-3 top half of the inning, and the Newport Gulls, who have struggled offensively so far this season, now try and defeat this North Shore Navigators squad, who comes in at 7-2, the best record in the NECBL. Newport at 3-3 in second place. Newport 2.5 games out of first place. Leading off for the Newport Gulls will be Greg Garcia. Garcia has been a very solid second baseman so far for Newport. Batting .227, no homers or RBI yet on the season, 1 double. The University of Hawaii, he bats in from the left side. Garcia looks out on the pitcher, Mike Gallo, who had an outstanding 8-inning victory his last time. Here's his first pitch. It's a fastball up and away for ball 1. Gallo fanned an incredible 15 batters, franchise record for the Navigators. Sends the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball on the outside corner at the knees, and the count's even at 1-1.
You can tell Gallo throws hard and also has a devastating curveball. He can throw it for a strike and he can bury it.
1-1 pitch is swung on, chopped up the first baseline, foul. 1-2 the count now on Garcia. For Hawaii this spring, batted .265, a pair of homers, 23 runs batted in. Garcia, Bergman, Melillo due up for Newport to lead things off here in the first. A 1-2 pitch is swung on and fouled to the left. What's the defensive alignment look like for North Shore?
Defensively for the Navs, at first base is Ben Waldrop, second Patrick Brady, third Ben Benigno, Alex Lee at shortstop, left to right in the outfield, Sean Gilmartin, Trey Dennis, and Matt Marquis. Mike down behind the plate for Mike Gallo, who's on the mound.
Garcia stands in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curve is inside. Just missed on the hook. It's 2-2. Gallo, Milligan College, plays for the Buffaloes. The righty stands tall on the mound. Here's his next delivery. It's chopped foul at the first baseline. Garcia's battling here. Gallo, no ERA, a 1-0 record In his one start, he worked 8 innings. No runs, 15 strikeouts, allowed just 2 hits, 3 walks. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Curve swung on, grounded right side, and it's off the glove of the second baseman Brady. That will be a infield single for Greg Garcia, as Brady had to charge hard to his left to try and snag that one, but it was just out of his reach. And the Newport Gulls have their leadoff man on here in the first inning.
Good piece of hitting there by Greg Garcia. Stayed back on the curve from Gallo and hooked that one in between first and second.
It wasn't hit very hard, just really got a piece of it, but enough to hit into the gap between first and second base. Now Joey Bergman making his Newport Gulls debut. Stands in. Here's the pitch. Up and away, ball 1. Bergman bats from the left side. For the College of Charleston, he batted an incredible .452, 15 home runs, and 57 RBI. Welcome addition to the Newport Gulls here, who have been struggling offensively to date. 25 doubles and a triple at the College of Charleston this spring. A .551 on-base percentage for Bergman, as Gallo checks on the runner at first, Greg Garcia, who is 1 for 1 in stolen bases this season. Gulls only have 3 stolen bags as a team. Here's the pitch. Fastball grounded up to the right side, maybe 2. Brady flips the second, out there on the first, and they say that they didn't get the lead runner at second base. It looks like the base umpire Patrick Burns is saying they pulled him off the bag, so everybody is safe.
I think Alex Lee wanted the in the neighborhood rule there.
Yep.
And I don't think he got it.
So Patrick Burns strays away a little bit from baseball tradition there, as he says that the throw, he was too far off the bag, I guess, for the in the neighborhood rule to apply. As you check the instant replay, it was pretty close, but at first base, Bergman did beat the throw. So here's Mike Melillo, returning Newport Gull. Batting 176, no homers and RBI. A chance here with 2 runners on the pitch. In there for a strike, a fastball from Gallo.
Fielder's choice and an E4.
So an error will be charged to Pat Brady. What could have been a double play, instead allow both runners to reach. Newport has an excellent opportunity here. Go right after Mike Gallo, who sets and fires. Off-speed delivery is inside. Counts 1-1. Aaron Westlake to follow here. A lot of power here in the middle of the lineup for the Newport Gulls, including some power we haven't seen yet from Troy Scott coming up after Aaron Westlake. He's in the hole right now. Garcia stands in at second. Bergman at first. Here's the pitch. Curveball is on the outside corner. A strike, says Bob Panza. The count is 1-2 to Melillo. Michael plays for Elon University. 2008 for the Newport Gulls. Batted .315, a pair of homers. 29 runs batted in. He was the MVP of the 2008 NECBL All-Star Game played in Torrington. Of course, it would be the last All-Star game that we played there. As the 1-2 pitch is a strike 3 called on the outside corner. Well, there's the first strikeout of the ball game for Gallo. His 16th of the season already here in 8 1/3 innings of work this season. As Melillo retreats to the dugout, frozen on a looks like a changeup on the outside corner.
I think it was. When you got a guy in Gallo who certainly throws in the low to mid 90s with his fastball and then can put that changeup over at just about 80 miles an hour, it can really buckle the knees.
Here's Aaron Westlake also batting from the left side. So they're going lefty, lefty, lefty here against Mike Gallo, who fires the pitch. Swung on, grounded right side. Now Pat Brady fields cleanly, throws to first, and there's 2 down. Advancing on the play are Garcia and Bergman, and the Gulls have 2 runners in scoring position here for the Newport Gull debut of Troy Scott.
Mike Gallo is a very interesting pitcher to watch throughout the game. He throws harder as the game progresses and will typically alter his pitches based on which time through the order it is. It may be a lot of curveballs first time through and then follow it up with the fastball second time through with the curveball in the back of their minds.
And how about this? Troy Scott also is batting from the left side. Stands tall in the batter's box and now hunches over. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. A big cut from Scott in his first swing of the bat. Here as a Newport Gull, as the ball did pop away from the catcher Mike Dowell, but not far enough for any runners to score. Garcia is at third base. Bergman at second. They both advanced on the 4-3 ground out of Aaron Westlake. Troy Scott out of the University of Washington at a .251, 11 homers, 31 RBI. He has some power. He levels the bat. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner, a called strike. And it's quickly 0-2 and Scott. Newport doesn't want to have a squander here. An error in the inning. And a single. Put 2 Newport Gulls runners in scoring position. But there are 2 outs now. Tim Smalling waits on deck. From the stretch, Gallo, the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, chop, foul up their first base line. Fielded by Newport Gulls first base coach John Foster.
Gallo walked a couple in the first inning against Manchester last week. It was by far his worst inning of the game. No more than 1 base runner in any inning from the 2nd to the 8th.
Newport will try to get to him before he gets too warmed up. Well, we might all be cooled down soon when this rain potentially gets here in a little bit. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul, tipped to the backstop, and Troy Scott just does stay alive. Scott, 11 doubles, a triple, again, 11 home runs for the Huskies this spring. And to start at first base here tonight for Newport. The Gulls, who were switching between Mike Melillo and Ian Tompkins at first base, now finally have a plethora of first basemen in both Scott and Westlake. Once again, the 0-2 pitch, a little bit low and away. The count is 1-2. Now the crowd is actually filtering in a little bit more here. One of the better turnouts we've seen so far. So again, for a weeknight, on Fraternal Order of Police American Heroes Night, as fire, police, and EMT officers were honored in the pregame ceremonies. 1-2 pitch is outside, ball 2. Runners at second and third. No score, last of the first inning here at Cardines Field. And there are 2 runners in scoring position for the Newport Gulls. Mike Gallo gets the signs from Mike Dowd, his catcher. Likes what he sees. He comes to the stretch. Check on the runner. He fires the 2-2 pitch. Curve is chopped foul up the first base line. As Scott saw it coming, turned on it, but just got a piece.
We have a good vantage point of how hard that curveball breaks and how harsh that break is. It's not one of those 12-6 looping curves. It's one of those hard biting curves.
For this press box, that's one of the few good vantage points we have.
That's right.
Once again, the 2-2. Ground ball right side. First baseman has it. And it's going to be a foul ball. It looks like a bounce foul just in front of the bag there.
Yeah, might have been. That ball was trickling right up along that first base side, and Ben Waldrop was hoping to have a play because it would have been an easy out, but as it is, Mike Gallo will have to make at least 1 more pitch.
So the count remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scott will dig it in the batter's box as the runners return to their bases at second and third. Cloudy skies here, a little bit of haze in the air as well. Maybe some fog in the distance as we await these thunderstorms to our north. 2 outs, the 2-2 pitch. Up and in, ball 3. Oh, that one was close. And Troy Scott wipes some sweat off of his brow and steps back in. The count worked full. A walk here would load the bases for Tim Smalling, who has knocked in 3 on the season. Mike Gallo wants a new baseball. Outfield playing back. Infield squared away. Gallo, a look in. He gets the signs from Dowd. Scott ready. The payoff pitch. Ball 4 is up and away, and Troy Scott battles to earn a 2-out walk, and that will load the bases for Tim Smalling.
Well, you said it, Nick. It was a battle there, and Troy Scott fouled off enough pitches, got a couple of breaks, the one down the first base line that just trickled foul, and now the base is loaded. This is a big spot in this ball game early for Newport to try and break through against Gallo.
Well, you're not going to see this very often from a guy like Mike Gallo. Here's the first pitch. It's on the outside corner, a called strike. Smalling batting from the right side of the plate. 261 on the season, no homers, 3 RBI, 6 doubles. Virginia Tech, though he played his college ball at Arkansas last year. Here's the pitch. It's up and in. Counts even at 1-1. Batted 259, homers, 33 RBI for Arkansas. Had Tommy John surgery. Now bats with the bases loaded. No score as of yet, but the Gulls threatening. Gallo from the stretch, the 1-1. Fastball is right down the middle. It counts 1-2. Ian Tompkins, who leads the Gulls in batting average at .348, waits on deck here. 2 outs, bases jammed. And Gallo trying to work out of his first jam of this ball game. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up off the netting above the backstop. Gallo is 1-2. Garcia reached on the single at third. Bergman, who reached on the fielder's choice and the error at second. Troy Scott just walked us at first base. From the stretch, Gallo, the 1-2 delivery. Outside, goes to the backstop. It's going to be, here comes the runner to score, and crossing the plate is Greg Garcia with the first run of the ball game. Newport Gulls lead it 1-0. It's going to be charged as a passed ball to Mike Dowd. That drives in the first run of this ball game. Gulls bite first here in the first inning. It's 1-0. Advancing to third base was Bergman. Advancing to second was Troy Scott. That was ball 2. Count even now on Smalling. Still a dangerous situation here for the Navigators. Mike Dowd couldn't hold on to the curveball that time from Gallo. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, driven down the left field line. Giving chase is Gil Martin. He has the beat on it, makes the catch. For the out, that retires the side. However, the Newport Gulls do take advantage here in the first inning, plating the first run of the ball game, and after 1 inning of play here in Newport, Newport Gulls 1, North Shore Navigators nothing here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. To the top of the second we go here at Guardians Field. 1-0 Newport Gulls over the North Shore Navigators, as Mike Gallo and the Navigators defense struggled somewhat in the last of the first inning. A pass ball from Mike Dowd, allowing Greg Garcia to score from third base. Gulls did strand a pair of runners, but did get one run home on Gallo. Here's David Palms pitching to Jim Schultz, who swings and misses the first pitch for strike 1. Had made an error in the top half of the first inning, and saying Mike LaBelle batted second in the order and popped up the third baseman. It was actually Ben Benigno. Next pitch misses. The count's even at 1-1 on Jim Schultz. Yes, Mike LaBelle was a late scratch from the lineup. Benigno did start at third base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It swung on and missed for strike 2. Jim Schultz comes in batting .323. No homers, 2 RBI. College ball ECSU. He batted .388. 9 homers, 57 runs driven in. Next pitch is an off-speed delivery outside for ball 2. The count's even on Schultz. Followed by Gil Martin and Dowd here in the second. Working quickly is Palms, the lefties. 2-2 delivery. Curve is popped up. Right side. It'll get beyond the bleachers and out of play, falling on West Marlborough Street behind us. David Palms is number 20. Wind up and the pitch. Swung on, hit down the right field line. Troy Scott, the first baseman, giving chase, looking over in front of the concession stand, and it's just out of his reach beyond the fence. No chance to make a play there. Just a long foul ball. The count remains at 2-2. Palms, 1.17 ERA, 1-0 in 2 appearances in the season, making his second start. He's worked 7 2/3 innings coming to this game tonight. 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Of course, now Ken. Here's a ground ball, bounced it off the glove of Joey Bergman, and that will likely be charged as an error, as Bergman had it lined up, and it will be an E5 charge to Joey Bergman. So Bergman, who did get the put out on a pop-up in the first inning, now have a fielding percentage of .500 here in the second opportunity, as that ball took an awkward hop. Must have hit a pebble or something in the infield off of Newport Gulls third baseman Bergman.
And Jim Schultz hit that ball hard, but still a play that Bergman could have made. And Navs have their leadoff runner on trying to answer.
Sean Gilmartin takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Gilmartin bats from the left side. At 222, no homers, 1 RBI. Martin bats here with the tying run at first. He is the go-ahead run at the plate. Palms checks the runner and throws. Foul to the screen, shakes up a backstop Karen position somewhat. Counts 1-1. Looking at those dark, ominous storm clouds out towards our north and west. They are heading in this direction, but they may just graze us. As we continue to update the radar, the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2 as the pitch was low in the dirt. A good stop by Ian Tompkins. That gets by him, and Schultz could easily be in scoring position. Ball and 2 strikes now to Sean. Newport defeated the North Shore Navigators 5-2 back on June 6th. In Lynn, as the pitch is swung on, popped up down the left field line, giving chase is Bergman. He'll watch it land beyond his reach into the left field concession stand and out of play.
That's one of those foul balls that is caught by a country mile at Frazier Field, where you have all of the foul ground down the left field line, and here at Cardines Field with maybe about 10 to 15 feet down the third base side and foul ground, you don't have much.
Yeah, probably about 10 ballparks in this league. That's an out. Here at Cardines Field, it's another opportunity to swing the bat. As Gil Mountain stands in, the count still 1-2. Here's the pitch. Outside, the count's even. Fastball, curveball, changeup, and slider from David Palms, who can touch 85 or 86 miles per hour with his fastball. Relies heavily on his control. Not an overpowering pitcher. His next delivery is swung on, ground to the second baseman. Up with the Garcia, flips to the shortstop out there on the first. Double play. A perfectly turned 4-6-3 double play, and the error is made harmless here as there are 2 down.
Just what the Navs couldn't do in the last half of the first. Turned that 4-6-3 double play. Good turn there by Garcia, and then Smalling on the other end. Strong throw to first.
That's the 5th double play ball the Gulls have turned so far this season. As you see a shot of the Irish fans, if you're watching on Team Line on the NCBL Broadcast Network with the video feed. Famous Irish fans here tonight. We'll explain more about them later. First pitch is up and away, ball 1 to Mike Dowd, the catcher. Dowd had that pass ball to allow the run to score in the last of the first inning. That's the difference in this ball game to this point. Dowd batting just 0-95, yet to drive in a run. Swings and pops up this one. Maybe playable for the shortstop. Calling for it is Smalling. Now the second baseman Garcia in front of the second base bag. Comes in, makes the catch. Ball the other, retires to side. So David Palms has faced the minimum through 2. Where after 1.5 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. It's the Newport Gulls 1, the North Shore Navigators nothing, as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Last half of the second inning here at Cardines Field. 1-0 Newport Gulls lead the North Shore Navigators. The second of 6 matchups this season between these two teams. Of course, the Gulls taking the first one on June 6th at Frazier Field. It was David Palms who had the win in that one, going 5 2/3 innings. Newport won the ball game 5-2. They lead 1-0 here. I'm Nick Lima, joined by Jeremy Kreisberg here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification.
NCTV 18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD. This is Newport Gulls Baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
24, Ian Tompkins is from Wake Forest University.
Ian Tompkins stands in.
Will Met.
His first plate appearance against Mike Gallo this season. Tompkins leads the Newport Gulls in batting average at .348. Takes the first pitch high and inside, ball 1 as the ball skips away from the catcher Dowd to the backstop. Tompkins, no homers, 4 RBI. 1 double. Plays his college ball at Wake Forest. Plays the next delivery is swung on, lifted down the right field line. Giving chases Matt Monkey. He has to go a long way to his left, and the ball will drop in for a base hit. So Tompkins lifted one high down the right field line, but not high enough to give an opportunity to Marquise to get to it, dropped in. The Newport Gulls have their second hit of the ball game, and for the second inning in a row, have their leadoff man on.
Just off the end of the bat there, and Mike Gallo yet again will have to work with runners on base pitching out of the stretch.
Now Mike Kaminsky, who struggled at the plate this season, though he was battling a toe injury to following a pitch off his foot in North Shore on the 6th of June. Gallo sets and fires on the inside corner, called strike, so Gallo has had to work out of the stretch most of this ball game thus far. It's Mike Kaminsky, who is close to 100% now, according to Mike Coombs. Our injury report in the Newport Gulls pregame show today was in the starting lineup in the loss to Sanford on Saturday, where the Gulls fell 4-2 to the Sanford Mainers. Started the game in right field then, started in right field here tonight after having the Wednesday game off here at Cardines Field versus the New Bedford Bay Sox, where Newport fell 5-1. So Newport has lost 2 straight, trying to snap out of that little funk as Kaminsky stands in. The 0-2 pitch is a strike 3 called. Kaminsky doesn't like it, but he's rung up by Bob Panza. Gallo picks up his second strikeout of the ball game on 3 pitches.
Good pitching there by Mike Gallo, and that's a big out. You got to get these last 2 in the order, because if you turn it over, you're just asking for trouble.
Now Joey Manning, batting 105 from Vanderbilt University for last season for Newport, batted 200, 2 homers and 8 RBI. One of 5 returning Newport Gulls. Gallo's pitch, curve, is on the outside corner, a beauty for strike 1. Haven't had a drop of rain here yet, but we are anticipating some showers and thunderstorms that are moving southeast. They are north of us. So we can do the math on that one. We could either just be clipped or we could be hit very hard as the 0-1 pitch is turned on and fouled down the left field line and well out of play. It'll land beyond America's Cup Avenue towards the Newport Visitor Center. Now a returning Newport Gull who has not yet arrived with the team is left-handed pitcher Jeff Brown from the University of Washington. He's coming in tonight. Be joined by Andrew Kitteridge as well. The 0-2's broken bat, grounded to the third baseman. He's up with it, throws the second out there on the first. It is in time, a double play. 5-4-3 inning double play is expertly turned by the North Shore infield as it was just a weak hit, broken bat, grounded to the third base side. You figured they could at least get one out, but Dingo charged it hard, threw a real bullet to second base. And they got Joey Manning by just a step at first for the outs that retire the side. So we are through 2 innings of baseball here at Cardines Field. It's still the Newport Gulls 1, the North Shore Navigators nothing, here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. The 3rd inning we go here at Cardines. 1-0 Newport Gulls lead the North Shore Navigators. That'll be the bottom of the order due up for the Navigators, and Ben Waldrop, Matt Marquis, and Alex Lee. Just 1 base runner so far in this ball game for North Shore. It was Jim Schultz reached on an error by Newport Gull third baseman Joey Bergman. To lead off the second, he was erasing a double play. So Palms has faced a minimum through 2. First pitch fastball in the outside corner for strike 1 to Waldrop. Comes in at 320, no homers and RBI. St. Anselm College, where he batted 394, 3 homers, 27 runs driven in. Very tall stature in the left side batter's box as he turns to the fastball. It's chopped up the first base line, a fair ball. The first baseman Troy Scott fields it behind the bag, and a foot race gets him for the out. 3 unassisted. Now we'll see Matt Marquis. Marquis batting 148. He's driven in 3 runs in the season, has a double. Second on the team with 8 strikeouts. Batting from the right side here against the lefty Palms. Marquis from Vanderbilt University. Teammate of Newport Gull Joey Manning. As well as Aaron Westlake. Waits the first pitch fastball, comes inside for ball 1 as he twists out of the way. And Field takes a couple of steps back here from Marquis. The 1-0 from Palms. Inside, ball 2. Oh, the crowd is really filled in here. Not a sellout by any means. We've seen crowds much larger than this, of course, here at Cardines Field in the month of July. But not bad for a Wednesday night in June with rain approaching. 2-0 pitch is foul tipped to the backstop. Once again, shakes our backstop care position out of position a little bit if you're watching in the live Team Line video feed, but you can still see what's going on. It's a 2-1 delivery. Inside. Hitters count down 3-1 as the lights come on here at Cardines. They're going to be needed very soon as those dark storm clouds approach. We may not see rain, but we will have some very heavy cloud cover here. So no spectacular sunset tonight as the 3-1 pitch is inside, ball 4. And there's the second base runner so far for North Shore.
Good at bat there by Matt Marquis, able to watch a couple of sliders fall down and in. Not an easy pitch to lay off of from David Palms.
Number 2,
Director Tom Lima shows us a shot of the light towers, just in case you didn't believe me.
a resident of Auburndale,
You should really take an opportunity, if you haven't yet, to check out the video broadcast here at Newport. As in North Shore, we try to give you the best possible video cast as possible. We have 5 cameras here, instant replay and graphics, as the pitch is a little bit high, ball 1 to Alex Lee. We got a fine crew working on this one, all volunteers. I'm Nick Lima, joined by Jeremy Kreisberg. Our statistician and official scorer is Nick Tasso. Director, executive producer Tom Lima. Our camera operators, Hayden James and Everton Carter. A 1-0 pitch to Lee is swung on line into right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Kaminsky plays it on a hop. Stopping at second is Marquis. And the North Shore Navigators are in business here in the third. Top of the order up now with 1 down. They have their first hit of the ball game from Lee. 2 on, just 1 out.
I give Matt Marquis a lot of credit. That was not an easy ball to read, but he was about 4 or 5 steps away from the second base bag as that ball dropped. And had he been hanging out between first and second, Kaminsky would have had an easy play to get the fielder's choice at second base. But as it is, Matt Marquis safe at second, and Alex Lee with his second hit of the season.
A tying run at second, go ahead and run at first. Here's Dennis. Wild pitch goes to the backstop. Both runners will take off. To third goes Marquis, to second goes Lee. And now the situation just got worse. It will be charged as a wild pitch to David Palms, his second of the season.
Not a large area behind the backstop here at Cardines, but that ball just ricocheted slowly enough to allow Marquis and Lee, both with excellent speed, to advance 90 feet.
And limited foul territory has made things interesting here in recent years. Sometimes we've seen a wild pitch or even a pass ball bounce off the backstop and carry him back to home plate, and then a runner consequently tagged out at home. Next pitch misses, ball 2. The Trey Dennis, who was a strikeout victim his last time, only strikeout of the night so far for Palms. 2 runners in scoring position. The 2-0 pitch grounded foul up the first base side. It's 2-1. Dennis has knocked in 3 runs. Leads the Navigators with 8 walks. Long Beach State University batted .232, 1 homer, 13 RBI. Brief mound visit here as Ian Tompkins, the catcher, has a word with Palms. Now jogs back behind the plate. At third base is Matt Marquis, who walked. Alex Lee, who singled to right, stands in at second. Tying run is 90 feet away here. A 1-0 ball game. Dennis at the plate. Palms comes to the stretch at the belt and fires. Fastball misses up and away. All 3, so a hitter's count now for Dennis. And Benigno to follow. Here's the pitch. Low and away, ball 4. And the bases are loaded.
Trey Dennis was intentionally walked last night in the 9th inning ahead of Mike LaBelle, who would fly out, and then Sean Gilmartin, who would provide the walk-off RBI single. And now Trey Dennis, with 9 walks on the year, will expand on what was a third-place finish in the NECBL in walks to begin the night. So Trey Dennis doing an excellent job getting on base, and now a big spot for Ben Benigno, who typically hits 8th or 9th, inserted in the number 2 hole in the order in place of Mike LaBelle.
So once again, it's Dennis's team-leading 9th walk. And the brief mound conference ends here. Newport Gulls pitching coach John Foster jogging back to the dugout. And Palms has to deal with a Navigator on every base. Benigno stands in. Here is the delivery. Curveball is inside, ball 1. Dennis at first, Marquis at second, Lee at third. David Palms from the stretch, he fires. Popped up to the right and out of play. Will land beyond the grandstand in front of the fire station, which is inconveniently across the street from here, but I guess they got to put it in the best place possible here in downtown Newport to get to fires. I don't want to anger the firefighters, especially here on American Heroes Night, where we honor the police and fire and EMT officers. The pitch is swung on and blooped towards center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. It'll score a run. Coming in from third is Matt Marquis to tie the ball game. And it is a new ball game here in the third. 1-1 our score. It'll be an RBI bloop single for Ben Benigno.
Good piece of hitting there by Ben Benigno, and Alex Lee having to hold up to see if that ball would be caught by center fielder Joey Manning, but he's at third base, and Benigno picks up the RBI single. Good piece of hitting by the Franklin Pierce product, Ben Benigno.
That's the first run that Benigno has driven in this season. And now Pat Brady, the number 3 hitter, stands in with the bases still loaded. Just one down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. Brady fly to center to end the first inning. Now Palms, who retired, or faced a minimum through the first 7, and walked Matt Marquis. Give the single to Lee. Here's the pitcher's grounder towards the shortstop. Charging Smalling, throws the second out there on the first, double play. Oh, if the Gulls didn't turn that one, it would have been the go-ahead run scoring, but instead, it's a 6-4-3 double play. Second double play turn by the Newport Gulls here in this ball game, and it was crucial. Just one run scores in the inning. The Navigators unable to get much going here against the Newport Gulls, but they do get one across. And after 2.5, it's the Navigators 1, the Gulls 1 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. The last of the third here at Cardines. 1-1 our score now. We're knotted as the Newport Gulls send their leadoff man, Greg Garcia, to the plate. First pitch is inside, ball 1 from Mike Gallo. Gallo, who had a tough time of it in the first. Didn't really get the backup he needed from his defense. He really settled down in the second. As they got a key double play ball to get out of the inning. Faces Greg Garcia, Jerry Bergman, and Mike Melillo here in the third. The 2-0 pitch is swung on, driven to left center field. Charging in is Trey Dennis, and the shortstop going out. He can't get it. It's off his glove. It's going to drop in for a hit. So Greg Garcia is 2 for 2. And for the third inning in a row, Newport has their leadoff man on by way of a single.
Second hit for Greg Garcia, just looped that one over short, and Alex Lee, who has tremendous speed, made a valiant attempt to try and catch up with that one, but just had it trickle off the end of his glove. No play for Lee, and Garcia's on.
Here's Joey Bergman. Stands in from the left side. The Gulls debut in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice and an error. Here's the pitch. It's outside, ball 1. Bergman batted incredible .452 with 15 homers and 57 RBI for the College of Charleston. As I mentioned earlier, a much-needed bat in the Gulls lineup here, who has really struggled offensively so far this season. Gallo checks the runner at first. Garcia scored the only run of the ball game for Newport after leading off the first inning with a single. Now stands in at first. Bergman is ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul to the left. Mike Gallo, native of Peabody, Massachusetts, pitching here tonight for North Shore in his second start of the season. 6'4", 230-pound right hander. Stands very tall on the mound. Really a commanding presence. He comes set high at the letters. A 1-1. Taken outside. Greg Garcia is pretty far off the first base bag, and Mike Dowd thought about throwing over there. Thought differently when Garcia quickly hopped back on.
And Dowd has an absolute cannon, too. He is not afraid to use that arm.
Outfield is playing Joey Bergman pretty deep here. Gallo from the stretch. He twirls, fires to first, and Garcia dives in safely. Gallo out of Milligan College for the Buffaloes. Played in 13 games, a 4.53 ERA, 5-2 on the season. 29 2/3 innings of work. Opponents are hitting .274 against him. Next pitch is swung on and lifted into left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Garcia stops at second, and once again the Newport Gulls are in business here against Mike Gallo. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Back-to-back hits here.
Good piece of hitting there by Joey Bergman. Just went the other way with a good pitch down and away and was able to hook that into shallow left center.
Now Mike Melillo, a strikeout victim his last time, in the DH role here tonight. He's batting 176 in the season coming into the game. 1 RBI. A go-ahead run at second. Gallo comes to the stretch, checks the runner and throws. A showing bunt, puts it foul toward the backstop. Now coming into the game, opponents are hitting just .083 and 8% batting average against Mike Gallo. Well, that's going to change significantly here as he's allowed 4 singles thus far. 3 walks and 15 strikeouts in that 7-1 win versus the Silkworms. Gallo is getting set to throw, but then faked back to second base. Melillo will be showing bunt again here, likely. He is. The 0-1 pitch coming. Low and inside. Pull the bat away just in time. Well, the crowd isn't really into this game too much. The score tied at 1-1. Pretty quiet. Oh, there's the Irish fans. You can hear them. And all of a sudden things get louder here. A 1-1 pitch. A bunt popped up. Third base line. It's going to roll foul. It's picked up by the fielder right on the line, but it is foul. Oh. Third baseman Ben Benigo thought about picking it up, and then as it looked like it could stay fair, he did pick it up just right on that foul line. And Bob Panza did call it foul. He made the right call. It was about a couple inches to the left of that line. It could have been bases loaded there for Newport, though, if he had picked it up just a second sooner. There's strike 2. Melillo will likely not be bunting here. They never know, though. Still no one out yet. How do the order do up here? He gets the sign. Calls third base coach Scott Virgilak. Taps the plate. Stands in. Garcia at second. Bergman at first. Melillo awaits. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, and the count's even. Newport played North Shore twice last season, falling both times in 7-1 ball games. Here at Cardines Field on June 20th. Last time the Navigators made a trip here to the City by the Sea. And also in Lynn on July 15th, 2008. Newport's win against North Shore on June 6th of this year was their first ever. Pitch, a ground ball towards the right side. Brady, the second baseman, has it, throws to the shortstop for an out. Advancing the third is Garcia. Melillo is on with a fielder's choice. So we run into the corners now with 1 down.
That ball slowed down considerably on the thick turf here at Cardines Field, and that's why Patrick Brady only had 1 play. He could go to second base or first base, but he could only get 1 out, and made the heads-up play, flicking that ball hard to Alex Lee, who was covering second.
Now Aaron Westlake bats here, an opportunity to tie the game, or rather to give the Gulls the lead. It's 1-1 the score here. Garcia at third base and Melillo at first. Westlake, a tap on the plate, a look out at Gallo, who comes set. He's ready, he kicks and fires. Fastball, just missed outside. Ball 1.
Well, that's been the problem, if you call it that, for Gallo. Just the location of that fastball, which was pinpoint in Manchester. It's been just a bit off here so far in Newport.
Gallo, the big junior from the Buffaloes, toes the rubber and throws. Outside corner, a called strike, and it's 1-1 on Westlake, who struggled at the plate for the Keene Swamp Bats last season. Batted just .209, no homers, 4 RBI, and about 29 games played. Did battle through an injury, though. Redshirt freshman, the Vanderbilt University Commodores. Batting 143 this season for Newport as the pitch is a grounder towards the right side. The second baseman has it. Flip the shortstop out there on the first. Double play. So the Newport Gulls can't take advantage of the singles here in the third inning. A 4-6-3 double play gets the Navigators out of the threat. As the Newport Gulls strand runner, we are through 3 innings of baseball here at Cardines Field. It's double play ball night. As we are tied, now at 1 between the Gulls and the Navigators as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Right now they're at 1 between the Gulls and the Navigators. We go to the 4th inning here at Cardines Field. Here to take you with the play-by-play through the next 3 innings, the voice of the North Shore Navigators, Jeremy Kreisberg. Jeremy?
Thank you very much, Nick. Couple of double plays turned by each team already tonight through 3 innings, 1-1 the score. Jim Schultz, Sean Gilmartin, and Mike Dowd do up against the left-hander David Palms. A week ago, David Palms matched up against a fellow Ivy League southpaw, Matt Boylan. Boylan last night allowed 4 runs through 5 2/3 against New Bedford, but he was taken off the hook when John Hill picked up an RBI triple last half of the 6th, and the Navs would win 5-4 on an RBI single by Sean Gilmartin in the 9th. There's a slider taken over the inside corner for strike 1 to Jim Schultz. Jim Schultz reached on an error by Joey Bergman back in the 2nd. He was cut down on a 4-6-3 double play. There's a fastball misses down and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jim Schultz out of Eastern Connecticut State, facing David Palms from Princeton. And the 1-1 pitch from the left-hander, fastball just missed outside, 2-1.
Well, the rain is coming, and the bad news is it's a very slow-moving system as the front is making its way through southern New England. Could be less than 45 minutes away.
2-1 pitch to Schultz. Curveball stayed high, didn't break, 3-1.
There's some big dark green, yellow, and orange speckles in that radar image as well. About a half hour up the road from Newport right now.
3-1 pitch to Jim Schultz. Fastball taken over the outside corner for strike 2. For Navs fans listening for the first time this year who have not heard a game at Cardines Field, this is a very unique ballpark, and I'll do my best to describe it.
Good luck.
3-2 pitch, grounded to short. On the backhand, it's Garcia throwing to first in time. Excuse me, that was Tim Smalling. Good play by Tim Smalling to pick that up and throw out Jim Schultz at first base.
That's a nice backhand stab that time from Smalling, who's been very effective as a Newport Gulls shortstop so far this season.
Cardines Field most distinctively has dugouts hockey style, one next to another. So whereas in a normal, I shouldn't say normal, at most baseball parks, most conventional baseball parks, you'll see dugouts, one on each side. That is not the case at Cardines Field, as Sean Gilmartin, last night's hero, takes a fastball up and away for ball 1. And so the teams are rather close. There's really no barrier between the dugouts. There's a fence that separates them from the field. 1-0 pitch to Gilmartin downstairs for ball 2. Now in the outfield, the fences are about 30 feet high all the way around, and so while the fences are not deep, to hit a home run, you certainly have to get some loft on your ball with light poles all the way around, illuminating the field from the outside of the ballpark. Ripped by Gilmartin, just foul outside of first, 2-1. And most distinctively in the outfield are the interesting juts. In center field, there's a gap where the fence curves in and almost points out towards center, and then if you go towards right center field, the fence moves in as if to avoid the trees out in right center and make sure that the outfielders have to navigate their way through fences as a fastball missed in, 3-1. And then, if you move all the way towards the right field line, there's a field house of sorts.
A warehouse out there.
A warehouse.
That old derelict building.
3-1 pitch to Gilmartin is popped high in the air to left center field. Westlake and Manning converging, and it's Westlake who makes the catch for out number 2.
And the tail end of it is actually almost in fair territory, right up that third base line. Actually makes up the first base foul line.
And that warehouse starts about maybe 75 feet past first base, maybe, and then ends where the home run fence would be. And so that's where you see the scoreboard here at Cardines Field, right in front of that warehouse, about 75 feet away from first base. So don't hit a foul ball over there. Or rather, if you're going to and you don't want it to be caught, then you might as well, as a foul ball from Mike Dowd brings the count to 0-1. So a very interesting ballpark and really a delightful place to play. You're a block away from the beach, and you can sense it in the air, in the sky, in the feel, and in the fans who certainly have come from their day at the beach to come enjoy a ball game here on Monday night. Here's the 0-1 pitch from David Palms. Fastball taken high, and it's 1-1.
And if you're watching live on the video feed, you just saw a shot of the Irish fans here, which we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. The Irish fans from Dublin, Ireland, here for their 3rd season.
1-1 pitch to Mike Dowd, slider inside, 2-1.
And they started coming to the Gulls games 3 years ago. They're all college students from Ireland, who work here in Newport and
as caddies and golf courses for the summer. And they came to a Gulls game and loved it.
There's good money in caddying, I hear. 2-1 pitch to Mike Dowd. Fastball taken above the letters, 3-1.
Especially with the clientele in this city.
That's exactly right.
Those Irish fans who are traditionally, of course, football, Irish soccer fans, stand the entire game. They wear face paint. They have chants and cheers for every player.
3-1 pitch, line to short, and Smalling picks it. Excellent play by Tim Smalling to catch that ball on the fly, about shoelace high to retire the side. In the inning, the Navs go down in order through 3.5 innings at Cardines Field. 1-1 ball game on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Summer.
1-1 our score. Last half of the fourth inning as Mike Gallo completes his warm-up tosses. He's set to face 5, 6, and 7 in the Newport order. It'll be Troy Scott, Tim Smalling, and Ian Tompkins. We mentioned the soccer. Team USA in action today, and unfortunately, 3 second-half goals for Italy sends the Americans to a 3-1 loss. So, unfortunate beginning to the USA trek in soccer.
I don't know if those Irish fans we were talking about before the break would rather go to a real Team USA soccer match over a Newport Gulls game, because they've really grown to love this team. And they've really been ingrained in the fabric here in Newport, just as much as part of the field as the hockey-style dugouts.
Troy Scott will lead off against Mike Gallo as our home plate umpire, Bob Panza, motions down towards Mike Coombs. Now he's set behind Mike Dowd at the plate, and here's Troy Scott, big left-handed first baseman for Newport, and he takes a fastball up and away for ball 1. Scores around the league thus far: Sanford ahead of New Bedford in New Bedford, 2-1 at Paul Walsh Field, top of the fourth, and North Adams and Vermont 1-1 top of the second. 1-0 pitch, it's the inside corner, a fastball from Mike Gallo, and they counted even at 1-1.
The other two games underway in the league tonight, both rained out. Manchester at Lowell and Holyoke at Danbury, washed away.
1-1 pitch is popped high in the air, foul side of third, and well out of play, 1-2.
Judging from where Lowell and Danbury are, they may have been washed away by the very same system that now threatens us here. Rained less than a half hour away.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Troy Scott. Gallo puts the hands together and comes home. Fastball up and away, 2-2. Troy Scott walked in the first inning. It was an excellent at-bat with runners on at second and third. He walked in front of Tim Smalling's flyout, but a wild pitch while Smalling was at bat allowed Greg Garcia to score. Now the pitch, fastball missed outside, 3-2. Troy Scott has battled Mike Gallo so far, fouling off a number of pitches and watching the fastballs with that two-seam action, tail outside. Now the payoff pitch from Gallo, inside, ball 4. That pitch just missed. And for the 4th consecutive inning, the Newport Gulls have the leadoff runner on against Mike Gallo. Troy Scott on at first base, and Tim Smalling will bat.
That's the second walk for Scott, so on base percentage of 1,000 so far, still for Newport. Still no batting average yet.
Here's Tim Smalling, who has had an excellent game defensively and was at bat when Newport scored their only run of the wild pitch, and he fouls off the first pitch just off the mask of either Mike Dowd or Bob Panza. Couldn't quite tell who, as Bob Panza goes out and hands the ball to Mike Gallo. I think it must have been off of Dowd. That means these umpires and catchers, they're kindred spirits. They know when each other feels pain because, well, they've felt it too. And so the delay and the ceremonious brushing of home plate, I'm sure, will allow Mike Dowd to retreat and get himself set for the 0-1 pitch to Tim Smalling, with Troy Scott leading off of first base. 1-1 our score, bottom half of the 4th inning. Mike Gallo on the hill for the North Shore Navigators. Gallo out of Milligan College, a junior. Milligan College in Tennessee. Big curve in there for a called strike. Broke that one knee high, and the count is 0-2. Mike Gallo last time out, 15 strikeouts, a franchise record not only for individual pitcher, but the team record for strikeouts was 12. That set opening night this year. Gallo shattered that himself. Fastball called, strike 3 on the inside corner. And there's 1 out. For Gallo tonight, that's only his 3rd strikeout.
All of them looking.
That was another thing that Gallo did most impressively. He struck out 7 Manchester Silkworms looking of the 15. He only faced 28 batters, struck out 15, 7 of them looking, which means a quarter of the batters he faced struck out looking on the night, which is an astounding statistic. Mike Gallo deals now to Ian Tompkins, 1 on, 1 out. Ian Tompkins singled back in the second, leading off, and he fouls back the first pitch. And the count is 0-1. Ian Tompkins had a big at-bat in the first meeting between these two teams with the bases loaded and 1 out, and North Shore ahead 2-0 in the 6th inning. Ian Tompkins lined a 2-run single, and then a sacrifice fly would ultimately plate what was the lead and winning run for Newport as a curveball hits the outside corner, 0-2. Mike Gallo pitched better as the game progressed last week against Manchester and hopes to be settling into a groove right here. He's ahead of Ian Tompkins, no balls and 2 strikes. Out of the stretch, the 0-2 pitch, curveball checked his swing. The appeal down to the field umpire. He did not go around, says Patrick Burns, and the count 1-2. Mike Gallo, who had elbow problems last year, was not drafted, although many of us thought that he would be, but surely a player who, if he stays healthy, will be drafted next year. Half-hearted swing, and it's a grounded ball with eyes through the right side of base hit. Slipping around second base is Troy Scott, but he holds on right there. First and second for Newport with 1 out.
Well, for the 3rd time tonight, Newport has multiple base runners in an inning. Just 1 run to show for it so far.
First and second for the Gulls for Mike Kaminsky, who struck out looking back in the second. Again, 4 double play balls already in this ball game, 2 by each team. Mike Gallo hopes to pick up a 3rd right here. First and second, 1 out. Gallo looks in at Mike Dowd for his sign. Mike Kaminsky, right-handed batter. Dowd sets up outside. Fastball grounded hard to shortstop. Alex Lee knocks it down. Throws to Brady for 1. On to first. In time. Double play. And the side is retired. 6-4-3. 3rd double play turned by the North Shore Navigators tonight. And Mike Gallo escapes trouble. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Through 4 complete at Cardines Field. 1-1 our score on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We go to the 5th inning. It'll be the bottom of the order for the Navs up against David Palms, who has pitched very well so far. 4 innings of work. He has only allowed 1 run. The Navigators have now matched a franchise high with 3 double plays turned. They set that twice last year, once against Sanford on June 11th and once against Keene on July 3rd. And now 3 double plays turned through the first 4 innings. They've matched that already, and of course it's a season high here in 2009 as a breaking pitch breaks over the plate to Ben Waldrop. The count 0-1. Ben Waldrop grounded out to the first baseman Troy Scott back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Palms, crushed in the right side hole and through for a base hit. Good piece of hitting there by Ben Waldrop, staying back on a breaking pitch, and he's on with nobody out.
3rd single of the night for the North Shore Navigators. Newport has out-hit North Shore now 5-3. Both teams still only have 1 run to show for it.
Here's Matt Marquis, who walked and scored the only run of the game for the Navs so far back in the 3rd. David Palms looks at Ben Waldrop, who takes a short lead off of first base, and Palms comes home and Marquis fouls it back. It's 0-1. For Ben Waldrop, he has now hit in 6 of the 7 games that he has started. So excellent production from the Navs first baseman. Matt Marquis, right-handed batter out of Vanderbilt University. The Newport Gulls at double play depths, and a slider hits the inside corner. A good one from David Palms, knee high, and he gets ahead of Marquis 0-2. Matt Marquis, 28th round draft pick of the Red Sox in 2008. One of a number of drafted players playing in tonight's ball game. Swing and a miss and a changeup. He struck him out. Good pitching there by David Palms, and there's 1 out.
That's the 2nd strikeout of the ball game for Palms. See fan Trey Dennis to lead things off in the top of the 1st.
So 1 on and 1 out for Alex Lee.
Number 2.
Alex Lee out of Wofford College. He's a sophomore from Auburndale, Massachusetts. last night came in as a pinch runner and was technically caught stealing. It was actually batter's interference on Mike Dowd. First pitch fastball over the inside corner for strike one. Alex Lee, 20 years old, an economics major, training to be a strength and conditioning coach at Katz in Needham. He's a three-time Bay State All-Star and also ran indoor track at Newton North High School as he lifts the next pitch, foul outside of first and out of play. 0-2. David Palms seems to be settling in nicely here as the skies darken at Cardines Field. Alex Lee looks down at Jason Falcon. 1 on and 1 out for the Navs. Road half of the 5th inning in a 1-1 ball game. Now Palms looks at Ian Tompkins behind the plate and comes home. Big slider just missed off the outside corner. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, those thunderstorms to our north and west are only about 15 miles away, but they might not be here for another hour and a half. The front is really stalled. It's moving at a crawl, so we could be okay for this game.
The pitch from Palms, runner going, and it's fouled off down the first base line.
Unless, of course, the score remains 9-1, and then we could be in trouble later on in the evening.
Count still 1-2 to Alex Lee. Yes, so let's hope we get this game in at 9. It will get chillier as this night goes on. That much I can promise you, being a block away from the water.
Lows expected in the low 50s tonight.
Brought my jacket, came prepared. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Alex Lee. And Palms throws to first, Waldrop back in. And this Newport team is really comprised of a number of very talented players, and now just beginning to gel as they seem to get their players mid-June after a number of the colleges are out of the NC2A tournament. Now you have Joey Bergman, who's playing third base with the team. Troy Scott as well, a couple of drafted players. Waldrop is picked off of first base, and he's out. From me to you, Ben Waldrop was leaning towards second base, and David Palms, that good lefty pickoff move, gets him 1-3.
So check the replay on that.
There it is.
It was close.
Tag applied right on the right arm of Ben Waldrop, and he knew it. No complaints there from Waldrop. Count still 1-2 to Alex Lee. Now 2 outs and nobody on base. There's no double play in this inning, I promise you that. 1-2 pitch to Alex Lee. Down and in with a slider. It's 2-2. Alex Lee, who has played sparingly this year, but he fills that utility role for the Navs. Pinch runner. Kid who can play all the positions in the infield. Best up the middle at second and short. Now the 2-2 from David Palms. Fastball taken too low, 3-2. So Lee showing a good eye here as he took a close pitch, 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Outfield and infield both play straight away for Alex Lee. And the payoff pitch from David Palms is grounded to third. Bergman on the backhand, it goes by him. It'll be a base hit for Alex Lee. Takes a wide turnaround at first base. Now balking towards second. The throw comes into Garcia, and the throw back to first, not in time. Alex Lee took a big turn around first base, but is safe there. He has a base hit.
Bergman tried to stop that one. He bounced off his glove. He just would have been sensational if he could make the play, but he really just had to dive down to the ground to slow that ball down, perhaps even take extra bases away from Alex Lee.
So 2 hits in the inning, but the Navs have run themselves out of what could have been a bigger one. 1 on with 2 outs, and Trey Dennis, your batter. Dennis is 0 for 1. He walked in the third. The first pitch from David Palms, grounded hard, but right to the second baseman, Garcia, who goes the short way in the dirt. An excellent play by Smalley to pick that ball off of the ground and get Alex Lee on the force out. It goes 4-6, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. Halfway home at Cardines Field. 1-1 your score on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
1-1 our score here in the 5th inning. We'll take 10 seconds for station identification here on the NECBL Newport Gulls Broadcast Network.
NCTV 18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD. This is Newport Gulls Baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Newport Gulls bench, and that bench is a
9-1-2 for Newport against Mike Gallo, who has allowed only an unearned run through 4 innings. He has allowed 5 hits against him, which is about 3 more than he allowed against Manchester when he went 8 innings and struck out 15, only walking 3 last week. Mike Gallo, who was with the Navs in 2008, will deal to Joey Manning, Greg Garcia, and Joey Bergman to follow. The first pitch to Joey Manning, curveball, stayed up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Last you knew Mike Gallo in 2008, he was out of Lake City Community College, but transferred from there to pitch at Milligan, a better hotbed for baseball scouts as a fastball is at the knees for a strike. Milligan College is in Tennessee. Gallo stands at 6'3", 210 and throws very hard, and so thought it would be worth it to transfer and get watched by more people as Joey Manning pops up the pitch, shallow left field. Gil Martin coming in, Alex Lee going out. Alex Lee reaches out. Did he make the catch? He did. Excellent play by Alex Lee. And Joey Manning is retired.
Lee had to go a long way for that one. It was really sensational. Right along the foul line.
And it was in fair territory, according to Bob Panza, our home plate umpire, and he was right on the replay. You just saw it. Alex Lee making an excellent catch, running out and lunging to his right. An excellent play by Alex Lee, and that's a big first down in a tie ball game. Top of the order now for Greg Garcia. And the first pitch from Gallo is fisted foul, 0-1. Updates from around the league. Sanford now leads New Bedford 2-1, top of the 5th, and North Adams ahead of Vermont 2-1. That's the bottom of the 2nd. 1 on, nobody out for Greg Garcia, who fouled off the first pitch. It's 0-1, and Gallo comes home. Lined into shallow center field, but right there is Trey Dennis to pick it off, and there's 2 outs. Benefit of having Trey Dennis playing in center field, he's so poised, and he makes the catch. There's 2 up and 2 down. Mike Gallo, interestingly enough, is a broadcasting major at Milligan College, and he enjoys basketball. That's his favorite sport to broadcast, but he is by far the kindest player on the team, at least to the media people, because he understands what it's like. And he is very gracious in terms of giving you a piece of his mind and what he thinks about his performance, and he allows you to talk to him whenever you want to. Even on the team bus and they're watching a movie, he's the guy who's willing to share a few words. The fastball is high to Joey Bergman, 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch to Bergman is too low, 2-0. Mike Gallo, last year with the Navs, was 2-3, but a 2.45 ERA. He made 4 starts and threw over 29 innings, allowing 25 hits, 10 runs, 8 of them earned, 18 walks to 23 strikeouts for Gallo. Now the 2-0 is grounded to right at Patrick Brady, the second baseman, who waits on the big hop and throws to first in plenty of time to retire the side. That's the first 1-2-3 inning for Mike Gallo, and it comes in the 5th. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Through 5 complete at Cardines Field, 1-1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Ben Benigno with Patrick Brady and Jim Schelt to follow against David Palms.
I'm hungry. Please have it.
As we head to the 6th inning, game still tied at 1-1. North Shore Navigators with a run in the 3rd inning, answering the Newport Gulls, who scored in the bottom half of the 1st, an unearned run against Mike Gallo. Benigno, who picked up the only RBI of the game for North Shore, a late entry into the lineup for Mike LaBelle, paying dividends for Jason Falcon, and he leads off. Benigno, right-handed batter against the lefty David Palms, and the first pitch is hit in the air to left field, going back on it Westlake in front of the warning track. He makes the catch.
Gulls fans and Navigators fans, wherever you may be, if you like what you're seeing, if you don't like what you're seeing, listening to here on the NCBL Broadcast Network, I invite you to send me an email at broadcast@newportgulls.com. That's broadcast@newportgulls.com. We want to know how we're doing here, so send an email to broadcast@newportgulls.com and let us know what you think. If you want, you just let us know where you're listening or watching from, and we'll be happy to read it here on the air live on the NCBL Broadcast Network. Again, that's broadcast@newportgulls.com.
Patrick Brady now the batter, and the first pitch from Palms. Fastball taken for a strike right down the middle, 0-1. Patrick Brady, after picking up 3 hits last night, is 0 for 2 with a double play. The 0-1 pitch from Palms, swing and a miss. An excellent changeup from David Palms, 0-2. Had Patrick Brady swinging out of his shoes, well out in front. And Palms gets ahead of the Navs second baseman. Patrick Brady, the only 2 home runs of the year for North Shore. But behind in the count here, 0-2, and the pitch from David Palms is inside with a fastball, 1-2. Patrick Brady with those quick hands. It's very tough to pitch him in, but you have to use that off-speed stuff away to set it up, and David Palms has done so. Now the 1-2 pitch is lined down the right field line. It'll be trouble, and that ball is foul. Just a foul ball down the right field line as Mike Kaminsky gave it a look, and that ball must have landed beyond the warehouse, but in foul ground.
Yep. Let's see if we caught it on our cameras in the replay. Actually, it looks like it hit off the wall of the warehouse down there.
That ball had some tail on it. Right-handed batter Brady hooked that one down the right field line, and so it tailed into the warehouse, and the call from field umpire Patrick Burns. 1-2 pitch, changeup fouled back. Brady stays alive, still 1-2. Patrick Brady has simply been one of the best hitters in the NECBL, enters play with 6 multi-hit games. He's tied for first in total bases with 21, second in slugging at 750, tied for second in homers with 2. Rounds the pitch to the second baseman Greg Garcia, who picks it up and throws to first in plenty of time. 2 up and 2 down as Patrick Brady grounds out. He's also tied for second in the league in hits with 14. Excellent player, Patrick Brady, so far out of Bellarmine University, the 2008 Great Lakes Valley Conference Player of the Year in Division II baseball, and as a sophomore.
Number 7.
2 outs for Jim Schultz. Jim Schultz eyeing that wall in left field, only 310 feet away, but 30 feet high. And the first pitch from David Palms is grounded weakly foul outside of third base. It's 0-1. David Palms has used his changeup to right-handed batters very effectively. He has thrown it outside, and they've been out in front, and it's set up his fastball inside. As Nick told you, it's not all that hard, 85, 86, but the comparison between the changeup makes it seem all that much harder. There's the change, and it's on the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top half of the 6th inning at Cardines Field. Jim Schultz, who's 0 for 2, reached on an error, and the pitch is grounded down the third base line. Foul ball. Just foul. That ball had some hook on it down the third base line past Joey Bergman, but about a few inches outside of the third base bag is called by the home plate umpire Bob Panza. And so David Palms avoids trouble here so far. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. Infield playing Jim Schultz straight up, in the outfield to step towards right. David Palms, the left-hander out of Princeton. Second start this year against the Navs. And the pitch. Slaughter got him looking. Excellent pitch by David Palms. And the Navs go down 1-2-3. 1-1 your score on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Dangerous inning here for Mike Gallo. Tie game, bottom half of the 6th inning, and Mike Melillo, Aaron Westlake, and Troy Scott do up for Newport. That's 3, 4, and 5 in their order. And as the PA announcer gives the announcement of Mike Melillo, the 2008 NECBL All-Star Game MVP, Mike Gallo steps off, now steps on, and throws the first pitch changeup over the outside corner for strike 1. Mike Melillo is 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the first and grounded into a fielder's choice back in the third. The 1 pitch is golfed to shallow right center field, coming in Dennis, and Trey Dennis makes the catch. Converging with Matt Marquis in right field, but Trey Dennis called him off, and there's 1 out.
Well, a very quiet crowd here tonight at Cardines Field, though they have filled up the stands somewhat. I think they may be quiet because it is a school night here, so this is an older crowd than you normally expect here at Cardines. A lot of the kids will be home early tonight or didn't come at all because of the fact that they have school in the morning.
1 out for Aaron Westlake, left-handed batter. And the first pitch from Mike Gallo, fastball taken outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Aaron Westlake, rough night so far, 0 for 2 with a double play, but the double play not unique. Again, 3 turned by North Shore already tonight. That ties a franchise record. And there's a fastball over the inside corner for strike. 1-1 to Aaron Westlake. Aaron Westlake out of Vanderbilt. He's a sophomore from Redding, California. He looks back at Bob Panza, asks him where that pitch actually hit. or how much room he has on that inside corner. Now the 1-1 is fisted to the shortstop, Alex Lee, who backhands. He'll have to make a tough throw to first base, and he does. Good job by Alex Lee. Had to hurry that throw to beat Aaron Westlake as that ball skipped on the grass and wasn't hit hard to begin with, but he gets Westlake for the second out.
So he got beat him by about a step.
The first baseman.
That's now 6 in a row retired by Mike Gallo.
Troy.
And he'll deal to Troy Scott. Troy Scott, having just arrived from the University of Washington. He's a Seattle native. And the first pitch from Gallo checked his swing. Didn't matter. It's a called strike, 0-1. Troy Scott, a 42nd round pick of the Minnesota Twins back in 2007. He's got an open stance, left-handed batter. 1 of 3 in the inning against Gallo. And there's a changeup, and it's popped into shallow left field, twisting away from Sean Gilmartin and out of play. And the count is 0-2. Troy Scott, who has not been retired tonight, looking to maintain his 1,000 on-base percentage. He has walked twice. Reached second base in the first on a pass ball, but was stranded there when Tim Smalling flew out hard to left field. 0-2 to Troy Scott. And the pitch from Mike Gallo. Fastball missed outside, 1-2. Again, Mike Gallo throwing harder as this game goes on as he gets warmer. A fastball clocking into the low to mid-90s. Now the 1-2 pitch down and in through a changeup. It's 2-2. Gallo mixes his pitches so well, and now this the third time through the order. Using the fastball, using the change, we've seen less of the curve. The pitch from Gallo, there's the curve, and he popped it up. Shallow left field, Gilmartin coming in, Alex Lee going out, called off by Gilmartin, who makes the catch to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 they go, 6 complete at Cardines Field. Your score still tied at 1-1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. To the 7th inning we go, and to take you home with all of the play-by-play, here is Nick Lima.
Thank you very much, Jeremy Kreisberg. 1-1 our score. We've been knotted in this ball game as Newport Gulls and the North Shore Navigators face each other for the second time this season. Newport leads the season series 1-0. David Palms is out for a 7th inning of work.
Leading off
They'll face Sean Gilmartin, Mike Dowd, and Ben Waldrop here in the 7th. Combined, they are 1 for 6. Waldrop singled his last time. Sean Gilmartin over 2, bounced into a 4-6-3 double play and flied to left. Swings to the first pitch, fouls it to the left and out of play. And those clouds getting more ominous and more dark to our north and west. No sun can be seen here tonight under heavy cloud cover, though there are clear skies behind us. The pitch is low and away. 1-1 the count. Now the count on Gilmartin. We've been monitoring these thunderstorms all night long, though they have stayed to the north and west. They're barely moving, which is a bad sign. Here's the pitch. It's a grounder up the first base line, but foul by a couple feet. As if those thunderstorms do reach Cardines Field before the game is over, it will rain. It will rain for likely an hour or more. So we'll likely not be able to resume play if play is halted here tonight. But they still are some distance away. The slow-moving storms, front being held up by high pressure system, no doubt. As the pitch is swung on and popped up on the infield, in comes the third baseman, and David Palms, the pitcher, will take it on the infield grass on the third base side for the inning's first out. One away from Mike Dowd. Dowd, who popped to second and lined out to the shortstop on what was a good play by Tim Smalling back in the 4th. We've been knotted at 1 since the 3rd inning. Ben Venego's RBI single tied the game. Palms and Gallo have pitched scoreless baseball since then. In the 7th, 1 out, bases empty for Dowd. Stands in from the right side, takes the first pitch fastball up and in. And it's 1-0. Lights are on here fully at Cardines Field, starting to take effect now. There's the 1-0, swung on, ground to the second baseman. Uplet Garcia takes the tough hop, double clutches, throws the first in time. There's 2 down.
Good play there by Greg Garcia. That ball took a tricky hop up on him, and he stayed with it and had enough time to throw out Mike Dowd.
Now Ben Waldrop. Waldrop is 1 for 2. That's one of 4 hits on the night for the Navigators. There's 9 hits in the ball game overall, 5 for the Gulls and 4 for North Shore. All of them singles. Waldrop stands in. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner, called strike, and off-speed delivery that time from Palms. Grounded out 3 unassisted to lead things off in the 3rd inning. Last time we saw some scoring in this ball game. The pitch is fouled to the backstop. Palms would like to keep it that way. He's ahead now 0-2. Waldrop out of St. Allen's College. Big left-handed batter stands in. Here is the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A 1-2-3 inning here for David Palms, and he is retired 7 in a row. We're through 6.5 of baseball here at Cardines Field. Still 1-1 our score on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Let's pick up Donald Hanley and the Newport Gulls crowd here at Cardines Field for 7th inning stretch time.
Take me out to the ball. Take me out to the ball. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I am or it's fruit for the Gulls. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
7th inning stretch time here at Cardines Field. We're 9-1. Back in a moment on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Well done.
Back here now at Cardines Field as the Irish fans unfurl a massive Irish flag up the 3rd base line. Oh, that must be taking up 6 rows. Where did they get that thing from? Oh, the Irish fans showing off here tonight with a massive flag. It's got to be a 15-foot by 10-foot flag unfurled down there on the 3rd base line. First pitch is low, ball 1 to Tim Smalling. He'll be fouled by Ian Tompkins and Mike Kaminsky as we're here in the 7th. Still 9-1 between the Navigators and the Gulls. Next delivery is swung on, ground to the 3rd base side. Has it on the hop as 3rd base and throws across the first in time. Meningo to Waldrop, and there's quickly 1 down here. Up for another inning of work is Mike Gallo. And Smalling is retired for the 3rd time tonight. 5-3. Ian Tompkins has not been retired as of yet, however. He's 2 for 2, a pair of singles, has 2 of the Newport Gulls' 5 hits on the night. Greg Garcia has 2 of the other hits. Joey Bergman has the 5th. Here's the pitch. Swung on in line drive in the right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. And Ian Tompkins, who already led the Newport Gulls in batting average at .348 coming into the game, is 3 for 3.
Excellent piece of hitting there by Ian Tompkins. He goes to right field against Gallo, and the hitters have been most effective tonight going the other way against Gallo.
Yeah, so an off-speed pitch that time from Gallo, just turned on it, looping it into right field. Tompkins is the go-ahead runner on at first base now here in the 7th. This is Tigers TV power inning. Mike Kaminsky 0 for 2, bounced into a 6-4-3 double play and hits a grounder to the left side. Diving stop by the shortstop Lee. Throws to second, wild throw, gets away. Taking him up for 3rd base will be Tompkins, and he will be held there as stopping at first will be Kaminsky. That will likely be charged as an E6.
I think it has to be.
So it'll be a fielder's choice for Mike Kaminsky and an error charged on the play, as they should have had the out at second base.
Joey Manning.
Well, if we could get a replay. There's mound visit here. This may do it for Mike Gallo. Runners at the corners here. No signs of the bullpen made yet. Is that Jason Falcon out there?
Yes, it is. This is a all-infield meeting of how to approach things with runners on at 1st and 3rd. You have your 9-hitter up here in Joey Manning, but a very good one at that. The former draft pick of the Philadelphia Phillies, Joey Manning. And with runners on at 1st and 3rd, always have to guard against that Little League type stolen base, but Jason Falcon just meeting with his infield and settling things down. There you see the replay, and Alex Lee made a diving stop, but the throw went into right field. An excellent try by Alex Lee, and that's where you see the error. It's on the throw.
That's too hot for Pat Brady to handle. Now as the infield conference breaks up, Joey Manning, who's 0 for 2, well bad here with 1 out. And runners at the corners. The go-ahead run 90 feet away here for the Newport Gulls. And Ian Tompkins stands in at third. Mike Kaminsky's at first. Manning 0 for 2. He's due for a hit here. Just a pair of hits on the season so far. Came in batting 105. Bounced into a 5-4-3 double play and flied out to the shortstop. Takes the first pitch on the inside corner, a called strike. That play where he flied out to the shortstop, Alex Lee, in the fifth was a spectacular play by Lee. And looks like the official score has changed the ruling. It's going to be a hit, then an error on the throw. Give Kaminsky a single. Pitch. Inside. Makes sense, as would have been a tough play for Lee, who had to dive just to stop that ball to get up and throw out the runner at first base. His best shot would have been to get the lead runner at second. 1-1 the count here on Joey Manning. Runners at the corners. They lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled. Tipped to the backstop. It's 1-2. Greg Garcia to follow. The last thing the Newport Gulls want to see here is another double play ball. Infield not quite at double play depth. Third baseman Ben Benigo playing back at third. They're holding on Mike Kaminsky at first. Gallo from the stretch. Low 1-2 pitch. Outside, the count's even. Garcia waits on deck, is 2 for 3 tonight. A pair of singles. Score the Gulls' only run. Newport played a run in the first. Navigators responded in the third. That's been all the scoring in this game thus far. The Gulls, the best opportunity here since the fourth inning when they had 2 runners on. Then there was that first and second. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, foul at the third base line. Scott Virgilak hops out of the way. A reset. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 2 on. A 1-1 ball game. And rain on the way. Not a drop has fallen here yet, but it will very soon. There's no doubt about it. That radar is just covered. Just a couple miles here from now. From here now. Gallo has a long look in. Now comes to the stretch. A check on the runner. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And a runner goes off to second. Mike Kaminsky picks up his first stolen base. No throw from Mike Dowd as Kaminsky dove in safely. No chance to get him.
The second baseman.
Wait for a good pitch to take off on. As Joey Manning strikes out swinging. He's cycle around to the top of the order, and Greg Garcia is 2 for 3, a pair of singles on the night. Bats here with runners at second and third. A hit here, give the Gulls their first lead since the third inning. Hitting room in right center field. A lefty stands in the batter's box. Here's a pitch from Gallo. It's inside, ball 1. Oh. We're starting to run for cover in the crowd out there. Some fans begin to leave, looking at those dark clouds on the horizon. We'll get a good ball game here. The next pitch is in the dirt. Good stop by Mike Dowd. It's 2-0. A walk here would load the bases for Joey Bergman. Now 6 hits in the ball game for Newport. They've stranded 4 on base. The double play ball is hurt tonight. Double plays in the second, third, and fourth inning. Not much of an opportunity for a double play here, though. 2 on in scoring position. Of course, now 2 outs. Manning striking out, so it's not like they need the double play. Brief conference here as the first baseman, Ben Waldrop, comes in for a word with Mike Gallo. Mike Dowd out there as well. Greg Garcia is on deck here, batting .227, looking for his first RBI. Drove in 23 for the University of Hawaii this spring. About 1,600 to 1,700 fans here tonight. We'll have an official attendance report right around in the 8th inning. Gallo now steps back in, and they're going to walk him. The 2-0 pitch is outside, ball 3, and one more intentional ball. Greg Garcia will take first base, and they're going to take their chances with Joey Bergman.
A walk for Garcia. He's on base for the third time tonight. And the bases are full of goals. And Joey Bergman, making his goals debut here this evening, is 1 for 3. Featured on an error fielder's choice in the first inning, singled in the third, grounded out his last time. It's 1 for 3, and has an opportunity to give the Gulls the lead here in the 7th.
Greg Garcia had 2 hits and lined out to the center fielder Trey Dennis in his 3 at-bats, and so Mike Gallo wanted nothing to do with him, but now he has to deal with Joey Bergman, who was drafted this year by the Cardinals, 22nd round.
Bergman stands in. Here's the pitch. Up and in, ball 1. It was doubtful that Bergman would make it here to Newport, as he was awaiting the draft. So he opted to continue his collegiate career. Come here and play for the Gulls this summer. Bases loaded, 2 outs. From the stretch, Gallo. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike. It's Joey Bergman, who batted .452 for the College of Charleston. 15 home runs and 57 runs batted in. Newport looking for some of that power right here. Bases are loaded. Once again, here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball chopped right side. It will be fielded by the first baseman. The foot race to the bag. He underhands to the pitcher Gallo. For the other, retires the side. The Newport Gulls squander here in the 7th as Ben Waldrop underhanded to Mike Gallo on the 3-1 ground out. For the other, retires the side. The Gulls leave him loaded here in the 7th. We're still not at 1. We go to the 8th here in the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport Gulls 1, North Shore Navigators 1. Stay tuned. To the top of the 8th we go at Cardines Field. 9-1 between the Gulls and the Navigators. One of the closer games of the season here the Newport Gulls have played. Of course, Newport falling on opening night on June 4th in Manchester, 1-0 the final score. Newport Gulls and Navigators playing for the second time this season. Newport taking the first matchup of June 6th, 5-2 in Lynn. It will be David Palms out for an 8th inning of work. He's been very effective. 7 innings of 1-run ball. Just 4 hits scattered, including 2 in the 3rd inning where he struggled a bit, walked the pair. A key double play to get out of the inning.
Number 36, Matt Marquis.
Here's Matt Marquis, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Pitch. Swung on, popped up. Shallow in the outfield, charging out the second baseman Garcia. Now the shortstop's bowling reaches up and makes the catch. And there's quickly 1 out on 1 pitch. Alex Lee to bat now. He's 2 for 2, a pair of singles. That's half of the Navigators' hits tonight.
The shortstop.
Newport is out hit North Shore, 7-4.
Lee.
This team has committed an error. Well, both of them harmless. Gulls leaving the bases loaded in the last of the 7th. Newport has stranded 7. Here's the pitch to Lee, squares for a bunt, but bunts it foul. Third base side. Conversely, the Navigators have left just 3. We do have an official attendance report. 1,371. 1,371. 1,371 fans here tonight. And it is the largest crowd to date this season. Again, not the numbers above 2,000 that we saw last season. Well, it's not this time of year. Gulls set an NECBL record last season with 15 consecutive home night games that had more than 2,000 fans. 0-1 pitch is on the inside corner, called strike. So it's 0-2 now on the number 9 man, Alex Lee. Came in batting just 125, but his average is up some points now with his 2 singles. All the hits in this ball game have been singles. All 11 of them. But 0-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Well, David Palms, who had just 1 strikeout through his first 4 innings of work, has struck out at least 1 batter in each of the last 4 innings. Now has 5 on the night. So Lee's retired for the first time. We cycle around to the top of the order in Trey Dennis.
Number 32.
9 straight set down by David Palms. He is on fire here in the latter innings.
pitch. He shows bunt but pulls it away. Takes a fastball. Outside low, ball 1. Dennis, 0 for 2. Reached on a walk. Bounced into a fielder's choice to end the 5th inning. He was the first strikeout victim of Palms back in the 1st. Went down looking. The 1-0. Shows bunt and bunts him right up the first base line. Backhand stab by Scott. He'll have to run to the bag. And did he get the tag? Yes, he did. Troy Scott in a foot race to the bag with Trey Dennis. Was able to retire him. And another 1-2-3 inning here for David Palms and the Newport Gulls defense. We go to the last of the 8th. Still tied at 1. Awaiting rain showers here. Those ominous clouds continue to approach. We'll monitor it all. Don't miss a moment here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It's Mike Gallo out for an 8th inning of work himself. We go to the 8th inning. Gallo got out of the bases loaded jam in the 7th. Returns here to face the heart of the Newport Gulls order, and Mike DeLillo, Aaron Westlake, and Troy Scott. Scoring correction was a ground out 3-4 in the 8th inning. To end the top of the 8th inning, as Mike DeLillo takes the first pitch up and away, ball 1. Not 3 unassisted, as my view of the first base bag is absconded by all sorts of poles and towers here. And one of the oddest but quaintest ballparks in the NECBL. This pitch is outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count now on Melillo, who's 0 for 3. A strikeout, a fielder's choice, and a flyout. He swings, hits a high fly ball in deep right field. Way back! This ball is gone! A solo home run from Mike Melillo, and he has broken this 1-1 tie that has existed since the 3rd. Mike Melillo with a drive to right field, and the Newport Gulls lead it 2-1. It's the Gulls' first home run of the season, and it breaks a 1-1 tie as the fans here at Cardine celebrate. 1-1 Newport Gulls. Mike Melillo, the first batter Gallo faces here in the 8th, will likely be his last, as Jason Falcon now making his way to the mound, takes the ball. We have a pitching change coming into this game from Cardine's field as Mike Melillo, with a towering shot to right, gives the Newport Gulls their first lead since the 3rd inning. Right fielder Matt Marquis knew it was gone. Newport Gulls lead it 2-1. A pitching change in this game from Cardine's field. Back in a moment, we'll tell you about the new pitcher next here on the ACBL Broadcast Network. A leadoff solo home run from Mike Melillo has given the Newport Gulls a 2-1 lead here in the 8th inning. It has chased Mike Gallo from the ball game. A new pitcher enters for the North Shore Navigators.
It is Matt Lewis, who is making his first appearance of the year for the Navs. He's out of UC Davis, arrived on Saturday, and is now pitching here on Monday. 6'3", 195, the sophomore from UC Davis out of Redding, California, much like Aaron Westlake will have to deal with right now. Matt Lewis at UC Davis was 0-1, an 11.48 ERA, 15 appearances, all out of the bullpen, 13 in the 3rd innings pitched, 16 hits, 25 runs, 17 of them earned, 17 walks, 11 strikeouts, and opponents hit .291 against Matt Lewis.
So we have to Lewis here. The Navigators keep this score close and give them one more chance in the 9th. So we can get a shot of the Newport Gulls bullpen here, as Newport may have their closer or closers warming up. No set reliever is in that role yet. So we'll wait outstanding camera persons to a shot of the bullpen. Matt Lewis throws his warm-up tosses here as Mike Melillo drives in his 2nd run of the season himself with a home run to right field. Melillo had 2 homers as a goal last season, as Newport's first homer of the season here in 2009. And in the bullpen, it is the Newport Gulls closer of the moment, Steven Peterson. Peterson, lefty warming up in the bullpen, will likely see him in the 9th for the Newport Gulls. Unless, of course, Mike Coombs decides to send David Palms back out, though his pitch count is getting up there. So, with 1 run in here in the 8th, Aaron Westlake will bat now, as the Gulls see Matt Lewis for the first time this season.
For the Gulls, the left fielder, number 29, Aaron Westlake.
Westlake bats from the left side against the righty. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball. Inside for ball 1. First appearance of the season for Lewis overall. Aaron Westlake's 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs tonight, including a double play ball. Ended a scoring opportunity for Newport back in the 3rd. This pitch is swung on and driven to right field. This ball will be off the wall on a bounce. Westlake stops at first. It's a wall ball single for Aaron. So the Newport Gulls, who were able to get a couple runners on base in the 7th inning but could not score, have something going here in the 8th. No one out, a runner at first. 1 run already in on the solo home run by Mike Melillo. And now Troy Scott, who's 0 for 1 with a pair of walks, looking for his first hit as the Newport Gulls steps up. Scott, who has home run power in his bat, knocked in 11 long balls with 31 RBIs for the Huskies this season. And it looks like we'll have a pinch runner in for Aaron Westlake. Looks like Dylan Stone takes over for Westlake at first base. So Mike Coombs trying to be careful here. This 1-run lead could quickly evaporate in the 9th inning with the bats in this Navigators lineup. Mike Coombs wants all the speed he can get on the base pass.
He's running for Aaron Westlake.
Troy Scott takes the first pitch up and away, ball 1. The next delivery is low and inside, ball 2. Well, Scott not a guy you want to fall behind. He already walked twice. Had a 251 to go with those 11 home runs for the Huskies this spring. It's a hunched over batting stance. A wide stance in the box as he looks out on Lewis. Here's the pitch. Fastball's on the inside corner for a strike. Well, 1,371 fans here at Cardines Field trying to go happy here tonight. Or go home happy here tonight. Newport would like to play a couple more runs for insurance here in the 8th. Scott stands in. 2-1 pitch. The runner goes. It's fouled to left and out of play. Dylan Stone took off for second, but will have to retreat back. Stone yet to attempt the steal this season. Counts even at 2-2 on Scott, along with Bergman making his Gulls debut tonight. Much needed offensive power for Newport. Now that the draft results have been announced, they were able to arrive here, put a uniform on the first time. 2-2 pitch, up and away, ball 3, goes to the backstop. Taking off for second is Dylan Stone. He'll get there without a throw as Mike Dowd plays the carom. It'll be a wild pitch. Dowd had to stand up out of his crouch and try and bring that one down when it was off the top of his glove. No real shot really at getting it.
Well, Lewis throws very hard, make no doubt about it, and Mike Dowd just found out.
So it's ball 3 to Scott. Lewis looks in for the sign. Comes to the stretch, ignoring the runner at second, now checks him. Here's the payoff pitch coming to the plate. Swung on, foul to the left. And Lewis throws very hard. Troy Scott swings the bat very hard as well. Interesting matchup here. Scott has a batting stance reminiscent of Brian Michael Kemp, who led the NECBL in batting average for much of a couple seasons ago. And hunkers down and opens up a wide stance in the box. Here again, the 3-2 pitch coming to the plate. Ball 4 is low and outside. Missed with a curveball, and Scott is on. Newport Gulls have runners at first and second. Still no one out here in the 8th. Another opportunity to play a couple of runs of insurance as Tim Smalling steps up. Smalling came in batting .261, but he's 0 for 3 tonight. He slid to left, struck out looking, and bounced out 5-3. Outfield takes a couple steps in as Smalling shows bunt and misses the ball. It's inside and low. Will be a strike on Smalling. Didn't have time to pull the bat away. And action in the Newport Gulls bullpen. Steven Peterson, the left-hander, is throwing. He is the Gulls' closer for the time being.
And he picked up the save in the first meeting between these two teams.
Already has 2 in the season. Newport's only played 6 games. North Shore has played 9 so far. Gulls have had 3 rainouts. The 0-1 pitch is low. And Dowd stares at first base, but Scott wasn't very far off the bag. Waldrop was off the bag, so no opportunity to throw either way. Gulls have 2 on at first and second base. Tim Smalling's at the plate. 1 run in on the Mike Melillo solo home run to lead off this inning that chased Mike Gallo out of the game. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line drive in the right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. It's going to roll to the wall. It gets by Matt Marquis. Rounding third, being waved home is Dylan Stone. Here comes the throw to the plate. It comes into third base. They do have the runner at third, but crossing the plate are 2 Newport Gulls runs as they try to get the runner at third, but Dylan Stone and Troy Scott cross the plate, and the Newport Gulls lead 4-1. It's been a 3-run inning for Newport. Give 2 runs batted in to Tim Smalling, who gets thrown in at third. It'll be a 2 RBI double. The Newport Gulls have a 4-1 lead.
Good piece of hitting there by Tim Smalling, and now you see the field playing into this ball game here as Marquis and Dennis couldn't quite figure out how to play that ball as the wall juts in towards right center.
He was showing bunt, but then pulled the bat away and swung. Lined it in the right field, went all the way down to the wall into the corner, but a good throw from Trey Dennis, or rather from Matt Marquis, was able to get the runner at third for the inning's first out. Ian Tompkins at the plate now. He's down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 1. A sinking fastball that time from Matt Lewis. And check the replay again, the runner on the throw at third. It was close, but they did have him out. Low 1-2 delivery coming. Curve as he ducks out of the way. That was very close to Tompkins. Too close for comfort. Counts even at 2-2. So 3 runs home here in the 8th inning for Newport. A 2-2 pitch. Goes to the backstop as he overthrows a fastball again. Counts worked full from 0-2. Mike Kaminsky waits on deck here. There were runners at first and second, but they both came home on the double by Tim Smalling. Well, the bases are empty. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Well, there's the inning's second out. Tompkins goes down by way of the K. He's retired for the first time tonight, and he'll likely finish the evening 3 for 4. As Mike Kaminsky stands in. He's 1 for 3. Bounced into a double play, struck out, and reached on a single. He's got his first stolen base of the season in the 7th inning, where the Gulls left him loaded, though. 2 outs, bases empty. The pitch is a fastball down the middle for a strike. It was a solo home run by Mike Melillo that led the inning off. Chased Mike Gallo, the starter, out of the game. Matt Lewis came in, gave up a single to Aaron Westlake. He was replaced by the pinch runner Dylan Stone as the pitcher swung on and missed for strike 2. Troy Scott walked. Tim Smalling was showing bunt but slashed a hit into right field. 2 RBI double was thrown out at third for the inning's first out. Now a strikeout to Tompkins, and Kaminsky stands in. The 0-2 pitch goes to the backstop. It's 1-2. Gulls have plated 3 runs here in the 8th and snapped open a 1-1 tie. The 1-1 pitch, or rather 1-2 pitch, and missing ball 2. Lewis is struggling with his command here in relief in the 8th inning. A wild pitch. A couple pitches have gone right to the backstop. As a 2-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. He does recover to strike out Kaminsky. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning for Lewis, but not before the Newport Gulls play another 2 runs in addition to the Mike Melillo homer. We're through 8 here at Cardines Field. Stephen Peterson will likely come on to close when we come back next here in the NCBL Broadcast Network. It's the Newport Gulls 4, the North Shore Navigators 1. 9th inning next. Don't go away. And welcome back here at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. We go to the 9th inning, 4-1 our score, and Stephen Peterson is on here in a save situation as
during the regular season of
We
North
do have
Adams
a couple of
since
score
they moved
updates
to
for
the
you. Jeremy?
Division.
Yeah, Sanford ahead of New Bedford now 3-1, and North Adams still ahead of Vermont by the score of 3-1. That Sanford New Bedford game at Paul Walsh Field in New Bedford, now top of the 8th. So Sanford looking to keep up with Newport Gulls and stay in second place.
Plus, a Manchester at Lowell game was rained out tonight. Holyoke at Danbury was rained out as well. Stay tuned for the Newport Gulls post-game report after the game here tonight, as the North Shore Navigators will be batting here in the top of the ninth to face Stephen Peterson. They have a 3-run deficit to make up if they want to continue to play baseball here. Though the gods of baseball may not favor that, as some heavy rain showers lie immediately to our north and west. Only a couple miles away now. We've been tracking them all night, but this slow-moving weather system has been favorable so far for baseball. We haven't seen a drop of rain, while two other games have been rained out tonight around the league. And it's been raining all over the state of Rhode Island, all over Connecticut for the last 3 or 4 hours, but this slow-moving system has just been slowing down as it approaches Newport and has kept us under fair skies so far. Last chances for the Navigators here in the ninth will be the heart of the orders. 2, 3, and 4 due up. Ben Beningo, Pat Brady, and Jim Schultz, barring any pinch hitters.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
Stephen
have a
Peterson,
pitching change
the
for
lefty,
Newport
out of
Gulls.
Marist,
Coming in the closing
now will be
role,
pitching for URI next
number
spring.
22, Stephen
His
Peterson.
third season in a Newport Gulls uniform.
He's from the University of Rhode Island.
Enters the game in a
and
save
Wilmington,
situation, trying to save the game for David
Massachusetts.
Palms. Palms is in line for a second
Batter
win.
is third baseman, number 24, Benjamin Benigno.
Benigno takes the first pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Here's the final line on David Palms. 8 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks.
0-1 pitch is bounded up the middle, charging hard. Garcia gloves, throws the first, good play. 4-3 ground out is the first out here in the ninth.
David Palms retired the last 9 to face him. He was phenomenal tonight for the second time against North Shore.
This is Stephen Peterson's 5th appearance already in the Newport Gulls' 7th game of the season. He's worked 6 innings, has 2 saves, he's allowed 6 hits, 1 unearned run, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. He's allowed a double, opponents hitting .273 against him. Bases empty here, 1 out, we're in the ninth. 4-1 Gulls, putting 3 runs in the last of the 8th. First pitch is a breaking ball in the inside corner, a called strike to Pat Brady. He was 0-for-3. Brady then Schultz. The Gulls try to snap a 2-game losing streak here tonight. The pitch. Ground ball left side. That's going to be through for a base hit. Alex Leach, or rather, Tim Smalling tried to dive for it, but couldn't grab it. It's a 1-out single for Pat Brady. And the tying run comes to the on-deck circle now.
Patrick Brady just keeps on hitting. 3 hits last night and now picks up a hit tonight. He has now hit in 8 of 9 games played this year. Patrick Brady.
So Sean Gilmartin will come to the on-deck circle now as Jim Schultz stands in. Schultz is 0-for-3. Return error, struck out and grounded out. Peterson, the southpaw, checks the runner and throws. Fastball just misses. That's a little bit high inside for ball 1. Gulls trying to retain possession of second place in the NECBL East. Trying to gain a game on the Navigators with a win here tonight as the curve is up and away. Sanford Mainers are tied with Newport for second. Sanford has played 2 more games than the Gulls. Of course, they're hosting New Bedford tonight. That game may be concluded before this one does. We'll have, of course, all full roundup of action around the league in our Newport Gulls post-game report. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball is in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
Navs just looking for one more base runner here, trying to get that tying run. So Jim Schell taking all the way, 2-0.
Stephen Peterson checks the runner. Sets and fires. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike, and the count's even at 2-2. Schultz, the DH, batting .323 coming into the game. That average has dropped somewhat. He's going 0-for-3 thus far. They are looking for a strikeout. Peterson sets, kicks, and fires. Just missed. Oh, the crowd wanted that one. But Bob Panza said it was outside. The counts worked full. Walk here. Brings Sean Gilmartin up as a tying run. Peterson gets the signs from Ian Tompkins. He comes to the stretch. Once again, the payoff pitch. Ball 4 is high, and the tying run will come to the plate for the Navigators, who aren't done yet in this one. Brady moves up to second. Schultz now at first, and Sean Gilmartin will be relieved of the game for a pinch hitter.
It's Kyle Moltner out of UMass Amherst. And Kyle Moltner with 9 home runs in the collegiate season as a sophomore for the Minutemen, providing some pop, trying to pepper that 310 wall in left field.
Number 17, Kyle Moltner.
So Kyle Moltner
From the University of Massachusetts, Amherst.
represents one of the last chances for the Navigators here. They have just 2 outs to work with.
Patrolling
Field
left
now at
for the
double play
Gulls
depth.
is number 2, Dylan Stone.
Runners at first and second. 1 away. Peterson sets, kicks, and throws. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Dylan Stone, who pinch ran for Aaron Westlake in the last of the 8th, eventually scored. One of the Newport Gulls' 3 runs in the inning is in left field here. Defense change for Newport. As a curveball is up and away. Counts even out 1-1.
Peterson's keeping the ball away from Moltner here, and that's not a bad idea. Kyle Moltner just looking for a pitch middle in and trying to put a good swing on it and hope he can put some pop into that baseball.
From the stretch, the 1-1 delivery to the plate. Low and inside, ball 2. Well, he's been right in and around that strike zone. He has been missing by much. So Navigators try to make it interesting here at Cardines. It's been an interesting ball game to date. Knotted at 1 from the 3rd right through the 8th inning. Coles finally broke it open as the 2-1 pitch is high and inside, ball 3. A walk here would load the bases for Mike Dowd. Kyle Moltner, the pinch hitter, stands in. Runners at first and second and just 1 out. We're in the 9th. 4-1 lead for Newport. Steven Peterson comes set. He's ready. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Big cut that time from Moltner. Had the green light on 3-1, swung but couldn't catch up to the fastball. And the counts worked full to the 2nd consecutive batter. A crowd wants to strike out here, 1,371 strong. Well, some have left. Peterson's ready, the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. That's out number 2. Kyle Moltner thought it was ball 4. He started to run down that first base bag, but Bob Panzer rung him up, and there's 2 down. Now the last hope for the Navigators lies with Mike Dowd. Dowd, the catcher, is over 3. Popped up, line out to short, and grounded out 4-3.
Dowd is 0 for his last 16, but did hit 7 home runs this year, his freshman season at Franklin Pierce, so a catcher with some pop.
He is the tying run at the plate. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, top of the 9th, 4-1 Newport. Here's the pitch from Peterson. Swing and a drive, popped up down the right field line, is going to land foul, bouncing off the roof of the warehouse, and the runners will retreat. Long strike 1 for Mike Dowd as Steven Peterson vies for his potential 3rd save here. Trying to preserve the win for David Palms. Despite pitching a great game through 7 1/3 innings, Mike Gallo is on the hook here. North Shore. Brief conference between Tompkins and Peterson. They return to their respective positions. Pat Brady leads off at second. Jim Schultz at first, who walked. 0-1 the count here on Mike Dowd. From the stretch, Peterson. Here is the pitch. Fastball is up and away, and the count's even. They've held off the rain here tonight for this one. Now the Gulls trying to hold off the Navigators' bats here in the 9th. 2 on, 2 out. Peterson from the stretch. Here is the 1-1 pitch. Inside and low. The count's 2-1. How about that? That thunderstorm system has started to break up to our north and west. It was yellow and red and orange, and now it's just all green. Still rain, though, present. But once the sun went down, the temperature cooled off. That rain started to break up, but it's still a threat here.
time called.
Mavs have another power hitter on deck. It's Ben Waldrop. And he actually has some more power than Mike Dowd, so not a situation here where a walk would hurt you if you're the Mavs.
2 outs, third base open here. Peterson comes to the set. He's ready. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a pop-up back off the top of the press box roof, and it's 2-2. The Navigators are down to their last strike. Well, it's been a real nail-biter here in Newport, tied at 1 apiece for 5 innings. So the Gulls finally played some runs in the last of the 8th. Now Newport trying to close it out here in the 9th. Stephen Peterson gets the signs from Ian Tompkins. Runners at first and second, the tying run at the plate in the form of Mike Dowd. Peterson comes to the stretch. He's ready. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Dropped by Tompkins. Throws to first. And this one's over. The Newport Gulls defeat the North Shore Navigators for the second time this season and the first time here at Cardanes Field. Newport improves to 4-3 in the season as they deal the Navigators, the team with the best record in the NECBL, their third loss. They drop to 7-3. Newport Gulls win it 4-1 here at Cardanes Field as the rain hills off long enough for Newport to defeat North Shore 4-1. Don't go away, folks, because Jeremy and I will be back in just a moment with our post-game report next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. The post-game report starts in just a few moments. Oh, the Newport Gulls take the 4-1 victory here at Cardanes Field. This is the Newport Gulls post-game report. Totals in this one for the visiting North Shore Navigators. 1 run on 5 hits. They committed 2 errors and stranded 5 on base. For the Newport Gulls, 4 runs on 10 hits, 1 error committed, and they left 7. The win goes to David Palms. He improves to 2-0 in the season. Went 8 strong innings, giving up 4 hits, just 1 earned run, walking 2, striking out 5. The loss goes to Mike Gallo. He falls to 1-1. 7 innings of work, allowed 8 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. The solo home run by Mike Melillo. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. Stephen Peterson picks up his 3rd save of the season. The game was watched by 1,371. Here at Cardanes Field as the Newport Gulls defeat the North Shore Navigators for the second time this season. Jeremy?
This was a game that the Navs would have loved to have had. They had their best pitcher on the mound, and Mike Gallo did not disappoint. He threw 7+ innings and only allowed a couple of runs, but it was the Mike Melillo solo shot which really did in Mike Gallo tonight. That broke the 1-1 tie in the 8th inning, gave Newport a 2-1 lead. Matt Lewis would allow 2 insurance runs, and Stephen Peterson, despite allowing a couple of base runners, would shut the door in the 9th inning.
So where do the North Shore Navigators head next?
The North Shore Navigators will have a day off tomorrow before playing 2 more on the road. They play in Holyoke and then in Lowell on Wednesday and Thursday before coming home to Frazier Field. They'll play the North Adams Steeplecats on Friday night.
Newport Gulls have a long stretch of baseball coming up here. As the Gulls, an off day tomorrow, will play the North Adams Steeplecats for the first time this season on Wednesday and begin interdivision play. They'll travel to Pittsfield on Thursday and be home again here on Friday to host the Danbury Westerners as interdivision play again begins this week for the Newport Gulls. After an off day tomorrow, our next broadcast will be on Wednesday at 6:05 with the pregame show first pitch at 6:35. So we hope you join us for that one. Jeremy, good broadcast here tonight.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Let's see, when will we meet again? Not until the month of July.
I think you're right. We have 4 meetings in July, though, between the Navs and the Newport Gulls, and that'll be very interesting. These 2 teams look to be measuring up as, if not the 2 best teams in the Eastern Division, at least 2 of the top 3.
So the Gulls will host North Shore again here at Cardanes Field on July 4th. Jeremy, we'll see you then.
Thank you very much,
Newport
Nick.
Gulls post-game report will continue in just a moment here, as this game took 2 hours and 17 minutes to play. It was watched by a crowd of 1,371. Again, 4-1 the final here at Cardanes Field. We'll be right back with a roundup of action around the league. And then our post-game report continues with our player of the game interview down on the field. That's coming up in just a few minutes. So don't go away. Still lots more to come here on the Newport Gulls post-game report here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at our Cardines Field as our post-game report continues with out-of-town report scores, or scorer reports from parts elsewhere in Sanford, Maine tonight. There you go to the top of the 8th as the Sanford Mainers play the New Bedford Bay Sox. That's the last report we had from there. Sanford leading New Bedford 3-1, so if Sanford holds on to win, they will remain in second place, tied with the Newport Gulls in the NECBL East. Northampton Steelcats lead the Vermont Mountaineers in the bottom of the 5th, 3-1. Last score report from there. Manchester Lowell was rained out tonight, as well as the Holyoke Blue Sox playing at the Danbury Westerners rained out as well. Again, the final here from Cardines Field. Newport wins it 4-1. We'll be down the field with our player of the game interviews coming up next. Don't go away. Still more to come here on the NECBL Broadcast Network with our player of the game interviews in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
And welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as our Newport Gulls post-game report continues. Nick Lehman now joined by our Newport Gulls offensive player of the game, Mike Melillo. Mike, that solo home run, your first of the season, the Gulls' first of the season, really lifted the spirits of the team and everyone here at Cardines Field, breaking open a 1-1 tie that existed since the 3rd inning, coming in the 8th off of a guy like Mike Gallo, who really throws some hard stuff.
Yeah, it was good. We were just trying to give Palms a chance. He battled real hard today. Couldn't ask for more. And, we haven't been really supporting our pitchers too much for the job they've been doing. So I really was just trying to get on top of something. And he'd been throwing great all day. He hadn't given me much to hit. And I was just trying to start something off with a base hit, try to get on base and get something going. And I tipped my hat to him. He threw great 7 innings, kept us off balance, battled when he had to. But, the story of the game was Palms, absolutely. He couldn't ask for more what he did today, moving the ball in and out, getting ground balls when he had to. He was phenomenal.
Now, you crushed that ball over the fence in right field. You had 2 home runs last season here for Newport in the regular season, and your power numbers actually increased a little bit at Elon this spring.
Yeah, trying to get a little older and stronger, hopefully, is the plan, and getting a little better at what I'm doing if I'm trying to work a little bit. But like I said, I got lucky. I ran into a pitch there in the end. I was just trying to get on top of something and get a base hit, try to get something going, because what Palms did today was just awesome.
And as you mentioned, Mike, the real story of this game was David Palms, and it's been the story of the season so far here for the Gulls, who have been short players, ongoing with 9 position players. You were playing first base here for the first few games of the season, but David, for the second time really against North Shore, really turning out his best stuff here today, going 8 short innings, just allowing 1 earned run. He was really magnificent on the mound.
Quality stuff from a left-hander. He made his pitches when he had to. And he kept us in the game. Like we said, we've been short players. We haven't had everybody here. And it was a whole new lineup today than we had. And, you get an outing like that from your pitcher. I know as a position player, as a hitter, and especially as a catcher, you want to give everything you got in that 8th inning to try to get on base and help a guy out because he showed what he did for you all day battling.
How about Stephen Peterson coming out for already his 6th appearance of the season, picking up his 3rd save. Got a little bit of trouble there, but battled his way back, striking out the last 2 batters to end the ball game and pick up the save.
Hey, it doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Petey can throw him out there in any role. He could start a game for us. I'd start him game 1 of any postseason series. Wouldn't have anybody else having the ball in the 9th inning either. He's just he's going to give you everything he's got. His stuff, he had a year off at URI, and you can see his stuff is so much better. He's throwing harder, breaking ball sharper, and he's going to be a huge factor for us this season.
And Mike, like Petey, you were back for another season here in with Newport. What brought you back here for another year?
Come on, you can't beat this whole setup with Chuck and Chris Givia and Coach Coombs coming back to play again and the guys. It was had the best summer of my life last summer. I was trying to have a half as good a time as I did.
So the Newport Gulls an off day tomorrow, but then a real tough schedule approaches as Newport begins interdivision play on Wednesday, and will continue playing right through the week, and then some big double headers coming up now in the first week of July.
It seems like all we have is off days, whether it's a rain out or scheduled off days. It'll be nice for the offense. I know pitching it won't affect as much, but I know for the offense it'll be nice when we can start playing games on a regular basis. Get our hitters in a groove a little bit, seeing stuff on consistently, and we look forward to it. We don't doubt that we have the best team in the league. Chuck and Chris do a great job talent-wise. We'll go play anybody, so we're looking forward to this upcoming games, and it's going to be fun.
Well, Mike, glad the rain could hold off tonight as the Newport Gulls defeat the North Shore Navigators 4-1. Thanks for joining us in our post-game report. So our Newport Gulls co-player of the game, of course, was David Palms. David pitched 8 innings of solid work here tonight, picking up his 2nd victory of the season. We also thank Mike Melillo for joining us in our Newport Gulls post-game report. Don't go away. We'll come back and wrap things up next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back here one final time here at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. The Newport Gulls defeat the North Shore Navigators 4-1, the final score, defeating North Shore for the second time this season as Newport improves to 4-3 so far in this young NECBL season. We're much of the way through the month of June, though. A lot of very important games coming up for the Newport Gulls. One of them will be our next broadcast, which will be here at Cardines Field as the homestand continues on Wednesday night. An off day tomorrow. Newport will be here on Wednesday. We'll be on the air at the pregame show at 6:05. First pitch at 6:35. We hope you'll join us then. The Gulls retain possession of second place in the NECBL Eastern Division with the win here tonight over the North Shore Navigators. Let's pause for a moment and thank those who made this broadcast possible. The executive producer of Newport Gulls Baseball and our director this evening was Tom Lima. Our associate producer was Everton Elov Carter. Our on-site engineer, Hayden James. Our statistician, Nick Tasso. For Jerry Kreisberg, I'm Nick Lima here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls defeat the North Shore Navigators as finally the rain starts to come as promised here at Cardines Field. Newport wins it 4-1 here tonight. Our next broadcast on Wednesday. We hope you join us then. And until our next broadcast, so long, everybody.
Will you live for that moment? One pitch, one swing. You see it in slow motion. You count every scene and keep your